two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, Sarge?
What's going on, kids?
It's episode 398. We're 2 episodes away from 400. I don't know what we're doing, if we're going to do something special or not. I don't have anything planned because that's just who I am. On today's show, Sarge, we're going to be talking about Sony State of Play that I just had a streamer earlier than this talking about it. So we're going to talk about that, the games it showed. We're going to talk about the UK passes a bill which also could force Apple to allow Fortnite and Epic Games to store to app or a game store app on iOS. We're going to talk about, I think this is a big story, Sarge. I think a lot of people are going to talk about it down the road, but FIFA 2K, okay? And I'll tell you why I think it's going to be big. So 2K is coming out with a football game, not American football. So we'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about Elder Scrolls. One of the devs says that Elder Scrolls Online is equal to 10 single-player games. We'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about Xbox manufacturer or the reference design for manufacturers to make their own devices rumored. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about Call of Duty coming to Game Pass. Shocker, not to us, but for the rest of the world, it's a shocker. I don't know why. Water's wet. And games that Microsoft owns is coming to Game Pass. We're going to talk about Rainbow Six Siege says, we're going to charge you a monthly fee just for this game, for a little tier inside that game. We're going to talk about Star Citizen pushes through the $700 million raised mark. And no, it's still not released yet. We're going to talk about, is AI a fad, Sarge? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Activision sues the cheaters to get a lot of money. Amazon makes a deal with another game developer. We're going to talk about, multiverses. It's worse now than it was in the beta form over a year ago. And that's it. I think those are the main stories. If we get to all of those, if we don't get to all of those, you can go to our Discord channel and look at all the submitted stories from the past week that you guys submitted or myself submitted, and you guys can read those yourself across the way, or watch or listen to the morning shows that I cover most of those game stories, or you can watch this for the rest of the stories here. Appreciate it very much. Before we get started, YouTube Lurker with a 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Lurker, for the continued support. Appreciate it very much. He says, best weekly roundup on the internet. Appreciate that very much. Krebsy says, 30, I thought you get the E3 virus early. Yeah, I wanted to get it early to get it out of the way. I wanted to get the cooties out of the way. What's going on, chat? Appreciate you guys showing up each and every single week here and making this podcast fun, right? Me and Sarge, I'll be honest with you, we would still do this podcast if there was no one here, just because we want to talk to each other about bullshit. And that's basically it. That's how it started. So, Sarge, what have you been doing? Another week down, right? We're not playing games yet. We're not talking about the games. Just
time travel. Just time traveling.
Anything exciting happen?
Exciting? I got tennis elbow, and I think
exciting.
I think one of my fingers has finally decided to age out, and so I've got like some kind of joint pain right here. And it won't go away now. So I think I'm officially old now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. Like, I'm not sure if I can't really feel the finger anymore.
Well, you got dad finger.
Yeah, just this guy though.
Yeah, right? you got dad finger from the knuckle up.
Yeah, just right here.
Yeah,
like this right around here.
Oh yeah.
Done.
Bad circulation.
It's done or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys,
I'm trying to force it down to do the Wolverine claw, and it feels like I'm being stung by 10,000 beetles.
Oh yeah, I've been there for years. I can't touch. That's it.
Yeah,
I can't touch my palm like that. Right, like I'm forcing it.
You gotta force it. You gotta force it. You gotta move.
If I take my hand and do this, I can do it, but I can't. Anyway, those of you that don't know, our father used to work in a deli, and he had a lot of finger injuries when he's chopped off every finger. Yeah. So like the tips of his fingers from like knuckle up, he hasn't been feeling. So Sarge is is welcome to the club. You have no feeling in one of your fingers. You got 9 more to go. So you got something to look forward to. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's a long run. I'm okay with it at this point, right? So
Lurker says, how many times do you have to flip off someone before you lose feeling?
I mean, it's just weird. I think it feels like you jammed it. You know when you jam your finger?
Basketball, yeah. Jam your
Right, when you
fingers.
jam it,
Yeah.
except that it doesn't come back. Like you jammed it, and then you're there now. Like that's the feeling of the finger. You jammed it. That's the feeling. It stays there. That's what it is.
I see you got your nipple for your microphone cover.
Oh yeah, is my voice coming across better?
It does sound better.
Does it sound lower and annoying?
Well, no,
as opposed to higher and annoying.
No, it doesn't do stuff like that. It stops the P's and stuff from popping, so it does sound better. It does sound better. All right.
No P's and the extra S's, S's, all the S's stops that too.
Let's every week we talk about games we've been playing, so let's get to what we've been playing.
I'll tell you what I'm upset about. That I make myself a full cup of coffee.
And you finish it before the show starts.
And I finish before the show starts.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Rookie mistake. I don't understand what you're doing.
A huge cup, bro. It's a huge cup. It's like 4 or 5 people are in my room. That's how much coffee is inside this cup. Look at the size of this mug.
Do you see the size of my mug? Look at the size of this thing.
Look at the size of this mug. I'm feeling dude. I'm
glass,
here.
Look. It's a big ass
Horrible.
mug.
It's horrible.
This is a 24-ounce mug. 24 ounces. We're just gonna show up with those big gulp, like from 7-Eleven. That'll be our coffee mugs from now on.
Oh, is Dupless angry? Is he all right? Was the state of play overwhelming for him?
What's the new chat pop-ups? I don't even know what that is, Dupless. What's the new chat pop-ups? On mobile? Is that what it is? I don't know. Is it a thing that pops up and says something?
I'm still not over this stupid heart in the lower right-hand corner that blocks chat that I can't read.
I hate it.
Right?
Yeah.
I have to wait until you guys scroll up before I can read the words behind the heart. Like, come on, bro. Can you put that somewhere else?
They could put it in the upper right-hand corner.
Can you just put that stupid thing? Why is it that anytime anyone tries to streamline anything that has to do with chat and streaming,
it's because
they put the shit in the chat window blocking words?
Well, it's because their engineers don't understand concepts of what design. They just engineer. That's what it is. Robert Jones says coffee. I think he's referencing you put coffee in that big 24-ounce mug. He's putting alcohol.
Yeah, you would know. Let's be honest. If you guys have been here over the years, you would know if that was scotch in that cup and not coffee. You would know.
Yeah, the heart thing. I mean, I see it popping up. So in my browser, in my windows for the stream, the heart is where you would type, to put a message. On mobile, the heart sits above that area and it blocks chat. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
It's the same in YouTube. It's the same in YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. On YouTube, it's in the chat, but in my stream software, it sits in the bar where you would type to message someone.
Trash.
Yeah. Trash. That's not trash. That's salt. That's salt.
Is it trash? Which one's this one's trash?
That's salt.
Trash.
The trash night's
trash.
That's the salt. No, that's not trash either. That's Harley Quinn.
Well, that's all I got.
You got to get your eyes checked. What do you mean?
That's all
that's all you got. What do you mean? That's all you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at it.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
This is trash night. That's trash night. That's what I got there. That's trash.
That's salt. That's salt. I don't know what Sarge is doing. He has the wrong emotes.
Those are the emotes that I have, man. I didn't sign up. It's trash. This one's trash.
Oh my goodness. That's trash. That's trash. That's a trash night. There you go, Sarge. Yeah, he doesn't. Sarge is not tech savvy. I'll tell you that. Growing up, I thought he was tech savvy. I used to ask him about all the computers and stuff like that, and I thought he was until I got to about 16, and then I went, he doesn't know shit. Nope. He doesn't know anything about nothing. Fair.
I am a people person.
Yeah, he's like he doesn't know where the disc goes. Good thing he doesn't have a disc drive. He wouldn't know where it goes.
I harvest money from my friends when I play poker. I know how to pick horses at the track. I can be friends with anyone in less than an hour if I really want to.
10
Like
minutes.
these are skills.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
I don't.
Sarge could walk in a room
Yeah.
of complete strangers, and he could be the everyone knows him within 20 minutes. So like, hey, that's Sarge.
As soon as my phone started acting funny, I immediately trying to firebomb the store I bought it from. Like, I don't put up with any nonsense from any kind of tech, any bullshit. That's it.
All right. Another week, another episode. We already did the intro for games you've been playing. Did you play any new games this week, or just same old games that you've been talking about for the last? Did you open the box? Let's find out. Chat, hold on. Hold on. Chat, did he open the box or not? Did he open the box or not? Open the box. Like, not play the game. Did he open the box this week? Did he think about playing the game? We know he didn't play the game. Chat, did he open the box? I feel like we're in the UHF. UHF. What's in the box?
All right, so
nothing.
I don't want to let anyone down, but I opened it like the third day I received it.
You showed it up. You opened it on stream. Yeah,
I opened it. Yeah. I took it out of the cellophane and looked to see what was inside it.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Then I thought about it, and I think, you know what? I thought of the one speed bump.
20-year-old game instead.
No, I don't think it's a real speed bump. But I thought about it, and the disk drive that I had broke, and I don't have another external disk drive, and my computer doesn't have a disk drive. So there's a disk in there. So I'm thinking I either have to go on. I have to go on. I have to go on the site and download it digitally and prove that I bought it, or I have to buy another disk drive.
God, you don't even have a disk drive to play the game that we got you?
But that has old school disk in it? No, I don't.
Unbelievable.
Not currently. It's crazy, right?
There's got to be a digital code in there. Does it say digital code on the box?
That's what I'm saying.
Does it say digital code on the box?
Maybe it gives you the disk and it gives you the thing.
Does it say digital code? Unbelievable.
On the box doesn't say digital code. It just has a bunch of other shit on it.
Well, it would say what it's included. Code. Opening the box doesn't count. Did he install it? No, that's not the question. That's not the question, Lurker.
Can't install it. Don't have a disk drive.
We didn't ask if he installed it. We just asked if he opened it. Right? Like he thought about playing it this week. No. So what did you play this week, Sarge?
I played the stock market. That's how I played that.
That's not the games we're talking about.
That's a game.
It's a game. It's not the games we're talking about.
All right. So I started the evil campaign for Battle of Middle Earth 2 because it's a game that's finished and it works like that.
So you're still playing that? Okay.
Yep. I played Battlefront 2 with you. Leveled up Lando, Bosk, and the Emperor.
Every week we play it. I'm liking it more. I love it more and more. Not like it more and more.
I'm getting the Emperor to like Mac Daddy status. He's almost all purple, and now his lightning actually does like massive damage. What was it? What the hell is it called? My brain. I don't
know that one. I don't know that game.
Yeah.
It'll
come to me. It'll come to me. Give me a minute.
And he's done with coffee.
Oh, I don't know what we're doing here. I gotta make another coffee somewhere. I gotta put a little thing on the screen that says Charles will be right back.
I think I have something for you because when you bail out,
step out.
Yeah, I actually think I have something.
You got a bailout slide.
I don't know if I have info label ending screen. No, I don't have it on. No, I'll have to get one for you.
I did try. I only played for like 3 or 4 hours. I loaded up ESO because I got Necrom for discounted price a while back. So I played Necrom for like 3 hours.
Didn't Brain get it for us?
Yeah. Well, I had bought it. Then he had got it for me. This is why I keep telling people to stop. Don't do that because you don't know when I'm buying it, right? So I think my problem is I'm not in. I know it's going to sound strange, like I'm not in that kind of mindset. So I was playing it, but I wasn't into it. So I went through some kind of quest lines, had my NPC guy person with me, loaded him up, got everything on. But like having to go through the process of figuring out where you stand in the game after not playing for a while, I lost it. I was like, nope, can't do it. Next.
DTM says, "Do we have the freeze frame with Sarge?" We do have the freeze frame. We have this freeze frame. I can put it up on screen. You want to know? Here,
let me see what the freeze frame is.
This is the freeze frame. Hold on. Let me.
This ought to be good.
Let me shrink it a little bit. There we go. There's the freeze frame of Sarge if he has to walk away for coffee.
Let me
Okay.
see. I mean, that's not too bad.
That's the freeze frame I've got from.
That's either I need coffee or I'm out of scotch. It's the same face.
That is when you lost connection that one time. That's what it stopped on. Yeah. So if you need to get coffee, Sarge, I could put that up there, and you're good. You're good.
Do you play elevator music in the background? It's like, Sarge will be right back.
It would be no elevator music. It would just be me talking while you're gone getting coffee. That's what it would be.
Or everybody else will just think it's normal because I always lock up.
That's right. That's right. So they wouldn't even know. Yeah.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Have you tried? Oh God, my headphones just fucked up. Have you tried Empires of War anymore?
You asked me about it. I loaded it up. Then I realized that I still have it because once you buy it from Steam,
yeah, you
it remembers you.
Yeah.
But I haven't completely installed it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I need something else.
Oh man.
Right.
You have to
understand. I get it, but you have to understand my mindset, right? The more obstacles I put in my way as a form of entertainment, like options.
Yeah, real life gets like you don't do more real life stuff.
Like I will procrastinate because I rather enjoy myself than do work.
Sure,
right?
That's all. Anybody like that.
I get it, but I don't want to be that way anymore. So I can't put so many obstacles in the way, right? I can't do it, right? Like for instance, this once again, I am not condoning anything. I am not a financial advisor. I am not saying good, bad, or indifferent. But I will say this for the guys who are listening, right? Understand that NVIDIA is going to split in the first week of June. NVIDIA stock is going to split 10-1. So what that means is if you buy one share now, after the split, you'll have 10. And then you're going to ask me, but Sarge, I don't have $1,100 to buy a share of NVIDIA stock. That's okay. You can wait until after the split, and then it'll be $110 a share. So either you can buy it now and get yourself 10 shares after the split, or if you can't afford 10 shares, when it splits down to $110 a pop, then you should buy a couple shares. Those of you who are in the chat who follow gaming and AI stuff, NVIDIA is at the top of the list. And instead of waiting for a stock to blow by again, you should be part of the next growth period.
Instead of pre-ordering a game for $130 like Star Wars Outlaws,
buy an NVIDIA stock.
Buy NVIDIA stock is what you're saying. I got you.
That's correct.
I've been playing.
So now, back to gaming.
I've been playing Star Wars Empires at War, and let me tell you,
the question is, what mod do you have?
I have I forget what it's called. It's the 4.0. It's the Empires. It's a Empires at War remastered or Galactic 4.0 or whatever it is. It turns it into super complicated. Yeah.
But there's different versions. What you need to look up is type in XP Gamers. That guy who plays Empire World, different versions.
I don't want to look up anything. I want to learn by myself.
No. He's not telling you how to play the game. He'll tell you which version he has. That's the really cool version. It's streamlined, like that mod. There's because there's several mods that complicate the game.
This is the top mod. This is the mod that everyone wants to play. Right.
Okay.
So I'm playing it, and I'll log in and do like a battle. I'll play for like 20-30 minutes. Right. I'll do like one mission. So what I've been doing is that. It's the start of a brand new map. So I don't know the planets I'm on. I just know I'm on a planet, right? It's my main hub. And I built it up, right? And I built up where I'm making max money on that planet, right? So I'm just feeding into the solar.
That's your farm world.
Yeah, it's my farm world. I'm just feeding into the solar system.
You need a fort world somewhere before that one, so they can't get to the money world quick.
Correct. So what I did, okay, there's no one up above me, right? There's no one there. So that's right now free. Okay, so I'm about to take that over, but the one in front of me, there was rebel alliances there, right? So I moved over there, attacked them, destroyed them. The only thing I don't like about Empires at War, when you're fighting inside space, you saw it one time, and I did it again. If you have to kill the base and you have to kill everyone there, well, the smaller ships start running. And they start. It turns into The Last Jedi, where I'm chasing them across the fucking galaxy, trying to shoot one little ship, right? My whole armada is coming after them. I'm like, this is stupid, right? Just give me the win, which is it's like they're making a comeback, right? So
that's because when it gets to that point in the original game, the NPC knows or the CPU knows he's losing. So
sure,
it just says surrender.
fucking surrender.
But it doesn't surrender.
No, it doesn't surrender. It makes you chase him like a fucking Benny Hill skit. You're running around trying to kill one ship. And you got 15 ships going after him with squadrons and everything. I'm like, this is dumb. Anyway, so I've taken over the next planet over. Okay, so now I went down, destroyed the inside. Now I'm farming that planet. Okay, and I moved my whole armada over there. So now I have this just giant army sitting on this planet. Okay. Which now I'm feeding in, so I keep feeding the things, okay? I keep taking transport ships, keep loading more people inside the transport ships, and I'm slowly moving it up. And now I'm taking my armada, and I move it over to the next planet. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to leapfrog it. So I'm going to attack this next planet, okay? And then I'm going to take the next and attack the next planet. That way, I'm 2 planets away now. And that way, now I have guards, right? Now I have guards, gates. So now I don't have to worry.
You'll see it as you're playing. You'll see which planets connect to where, and you'll know which planet's like the linchpin of like an area, like it's an intersection.
I don't have gameplay. I could show you gameplay from someone else.
That's the one you fortify completely, so that nobody can get through it. Like that's how you have to play that game.
Here, let me show you some. You guys know what I'm talking about. Empire at War.
Once again, this game is older than dirt.
This is a 16-year-old game. 16-year-old game.
And we're waiting for the Total War version to come out now.
Yeah, that Total War game. So this is a 16-year-old game. I'm absolutely loving the strategy though and stuff, and moving the units over and bombing the places and the spaceship battle. It's so cool watching how the ships they all take a slow ass time to turn and move. I'm having a blast with this game.
We're watching the movie?
No, this
is the game.
This is a cutscene type of thing. Here. Let me just.
That's not the cutscene. That's like that was not the.
These
movie,
are cutscenes inside the actual game, man. Okay, so
from Rogue One.
No, that's B-roll. He was putting B-roll in there.
Oh, I got you.
So
like, what?
Every time you play this mission though with the no Ray, game sucks. So you could put
no Ray, game's amazing.
Yeah. So this is like the ship battle in space. I absolutely love this. You slow, you got to push up. Certain frigates are for TIE fighters. Certain frigates are to anti-TIE fighters. Certain thing.
Just let chat know it is a game of paper, rock, scissors. You have to know what ships are good for what. You can't have one group of ships and win the game.
Yeah, no. If you put one ship and go attack someone, you will get annihilated. Absolutely, like destroyed. You have to have a rock for the scissors, right? You have to have the scissors for the paper. So when they attack you, you have a counter for it, right? You protect your guys. You put your. It's such a good game.
To be fair, Jason, there's a mod in there that has everybody.
Yeah, you can do the Clone Wars. You can do the new era.
Clone War. They have they have whatever era you want.
Yeah. So this is actually $20. $20 on Steam or other sites. I would assume you could probably get it for cheaper if you find it. Okay,
it's $20.
Yeah, $20. 100% worth it if you're a Star Wars fan.
It goes on sale multiple times a year. It's not like it's a big deal.
It's very slow pace, very strategic.
Well, it has to be. Well, the combat in space has to be a little slow because otherwise you wouldn't be able to give the orders in time and you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, with the beast machines that we have now, the speed is fine. Right. It's not Glacier.
There's Darth Vader just murdering people, right? The ground troops, and they have pretty good cinematics. Like you can hit the cinematic button and it goes down and changes cameras, and you can just watch the battle happen. It's just good times, man. Just a good old fashioned video game.
Back when they used to make a Star Wars game and have fun with it.
Right. So I would love a Total War with this. So there you go. There is the gameplay, not my gameplay, but there's gameplay of Star Wars Empires at War. Okay. One of the other games I'm playing right now is the new Multiverses that just came out again. They re-released it. We have a story. We'll probably start with that story. I talked about it earlier. I gave my first opinions 2 days ago. This morning's stream, there's an article about a Reddit post about what's missing from the actual game. But before we get to that, I'll just tell you me playing the game. I really and I talked about this when the game first came out back in 2022, right? When it first came out in 2022, I was like, I really like the art style. I really like the gameplay. It was faster paced back then than it is compared to now. What they've done to the game now, they slowed it down and they squeezing it as much as microtransactions as possible. They took a lot of stuff out of the game. It's still a fun game. They have a Rift mode, which is like a PvE mode type of stuff, single player type stuff. It's good, but let me tell you, their netcode right now is absolutely a travesty. Okay, it's terrible. Okay, yeah, it's not great multiverses. Yeah, it's phenomenal how bad it is a year after it's been off the shelves. Now, they did upgrade to Unreal Engine 5, right? And you can see it's nice in certain ways, but it's like they started over. So hear me out. So the game came out in 2022, meaning they had it working on it 6 months, 8 months before the game came out in 2022, in July of 2022. They had it out until June of 2023, and then it closed down in June 2023 and now reopened on May 30th of 2024. Okay. Between 2022 and 2023, it was using Unreal Engine 4, and it felt good. It was good. I liked the game. It was fun. Then it went off the air, right? And now it's back, and it's using Unreal Engine 5, and I feel like what they've done now is that they're back in beta form, but they don't want to call it beta. They released in full-fledged force of what the game is, but it's in alpha of Unreal Engine 5 instead of alpha of or beta of Unreal Engine 4. It's in beta of Unreal Engine 5. So there's a lot of things that are happening with it that's bad. The netcode's terrible. There's games I'm crashing in the middle of fights. It pauses, it skips. You hit someone, they pause in midair. You don't know what's going on. Lots of different problems happening. There's also a meta now because of the dailies and stuff that are happening inside the multiverses that people are just jumping off the edge. They don't even want to fight, right? I've had multiple matches like this. So the match starts and they just run off the edge to lose because it's part of the dailies where it says play 5 PvP matches. Well, they don't want to play PvP. They just want to continue on the battle pass. So they're just running off the edge as fast as possible. Path of least resistance, right? Path of least resistance. So they're just jumping off and then you get to win the match, right? And then there was another one that I played. I actually had a good fight. It was me versus Joker. We were battling back and forth. I was like, wow, this is a fun match. It was sweaty. It felt good because we were both matched evenly. And then we had a rematch. Before it would tell you if there's a rematch. Now it doesn't tell you if there's a rematch, and there's a thing and it happens, and then it's just super weird. Everything is just worse now. Okay, so I've been playing multiverses. I've been playing Fallout 76, not as much because I traveled down south. I've been logging in, playing my dailies and stuff like that. Still enjoying it. Excited for the update that happens just in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks from now. I think they're updating the game. So for the new story stuff that's happening in Fallout 76, so I've been playing that. And I'm trying to think if I played one other game. Can't think of it. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I went back and played, just for a split second, Hogwarts Legacy. And goddamn, that game is so goddamn gorgeous. I went right back in the game, and I'm in the middle of Hogwarts, and I'm like, holy shit, this game is good looking, right? And I started playing, and it just felt so good. They didn't put in the update because there's an update coming out where the storefront that was missed, one of the missions that PlayStation had when it came out last year, they're now putting it into Xbox and PC. So I thought it was in, but I started just flying around and doing magic again. Man, such a good game. Yeah, Gaming Fire, Hogwarts Legacy getting an update on June 6th. So I downloaded it again, waiting for the June 6th update, which then June 7th. The first Ascendant comes out, and I'm excited to play that. So a lot of games I can upcoming that I'll be playing again or jumping back into. Other than that, I haven't been playing anything else other than that. So let's get to the top stories. All right, so I want to start off with the first story, which is the multiverses. Now, I talked about this earlier in my morning stream. So if you saw that, this would be sort of like a rehash, but sort of get Sarge involved here, right? That's what we do here. So this is the podcast for that. So Multiverses is in a worse shape than it was in beta over a year ago. Okay, so this is what's missing, Sarge, from the game. Let me bring up the Reddit post. Okay, these is everything that changed for the worse from the beta period. Oh, you can't see it. Let me see. There you go. So gameplay, okay. No more ground neutral air, okay. There's no camera zoom in. So the camera zooms in far too close, okay, and often. There's no leaderboards, okay. There was leaderboards before. After the battle report, aka damage done, or ring outs. There's no stats after the game is done about who did what. Okay, that's missing from the game itself. You can't see who accepted or declined a rematch. Okay, again, that's what I was talking about earlier. You can't tell when you're fighting someone who says yes or no, and if it's got to be unanimous if it's 2v2 or whatever, right? The modes in this game. There's no more co-op versus AI. Okay, so it's only PvP, which I think is stupid. Plus, there's the rifts for single player. There's no offline play. Okay, they took offline play off. Okay, what people like about the offline mode is that you could play offline and you could play against bots. And when you played against offline and bots, you can do the custom stuff, but the characters are still locked behind the paywall. Okay, so before, when you played offline, all the characters were unlocked, so you could play the characters that you didn't own to test them out, see if you liked them before you purchased them, and now you can't do that. Okay, so now you can't play the characters that are unlocked. You have to buy them first and see if you like it, and if you don't like it, well, then you're screwed, right? There's no FFA mode with items, okay, or free-for-all mode, if you guys don't know. There's no free-for-all mode. Training. Okay, you can no longer play as a character you don't own in a local play or training. You can't change your controller settings in training room anymore. More fully loaded screens when changing settings and start positions. There's no advanced tutorial mode either, right? These are all features that were once in this game during a beta, okay? And now the game is completely out, and it's not, okay? The economy and the progression in this game now, they've added more currencies than Destiny, Sarge. Okay, there's no more cheaper characters. Okay, they have for $1,500 or 1,500 of the currency. Every character now is 3,000 and 6,000. 3,000 Gleamium, okay, and 6,000 of the actual in-game currency. Okay, no non-Gleamium skins. All the skins are paid premium skins. No more Battle Pass XP after every match. Okay, you can only level up now with the Battle Pass from challenges now. So this is what's happening. Okay. So you walk into a mission now, and you used to get XP for just doing missions, but now you're only getting XP if you do something that does one of the weeklies or dailies. Okay, this is why people are jumping off and just doing matches or whatnot. Okay, no toast back if someone toasts you after you left the post match screen. So what's weird here is after the match ends, the screen pops up. And it shows you who won, who lost. Then it goes into your dailies, weeklies. Then you have to hit continue. Then it goes back to the other screen, and then the toast thing pops up. But by that time, half the people are just skip, and they've left. So you don't know who toasted you, if you could retoast them or whatnot. It's part of like the sort of like when you play. What's the other game we played? Oh, in Division. You know, give them medals. You know what I mean, when they help you out and stuff like that. So you have you have to use the character tickets if you got them, presumably also Battle Pass tickets, okay? And you can't choose to pay character currency or Gleamium, okay? They can't do one or the other. Maybe you have like 400 Gleamium put towards it and then the rest towards, can't do that, okay? There's no options to remove team colors in battle. There's no ability to swap neutral or side attacks. Can't remove lower buffering or inputs, and can't change the game's language in the settings. Okay, this is a fully launched game right now.
Is this an anti-patch list you have? Like usually there's a patch list to tell you how things are being improved. You just read off a list that basically just told me that you just dismantled a game from the ground up. I don't understand. What are you reading?
This is a game that had all of these things in the last beta over a year ago, and now the fully launched game, as it stands today during episode 398. Is missing all of these features that were once in the game. And now it's a much more monetized game. Much more monetized. So it's leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So
I'm hoping. I mean, what worse taste can you get in your mouth? Shut up, chat. Shut up.
The sound bites are going to be fantastic. Right? So I'm baffled. I'm baffled by how a company who had a pretty damn good game when it first came out, okay, where the player base fell off and then they closed down the game for a year to work on it to make it worse when it comes out.
I think there's a culmination of ideas that are intersecting at the same time, and it's them that do it to themselves, right? You had the information prior that said that a good portion of gamers are playing games that are 5+ years old, right?
Right.
Then on top of that, you have this whole line of budget cuts that they can't make enough money. They keep firing people. Games are too expensive. You have that intersection, right? Then you have the fact that they're chasing trends as opposed to actually making games, right? You have that intersection,
Right.
and so we have this giant mass of just negative business practices, and the only way that they can make money now is if they battle pass you and microtransaction you and overcharge you in the beginning, so then you either have to buy the game at $100 or get into one of the services so you can give them money every month, because one way or the other they have to recoup this money that they know that they did a poor job at, right? And so they keep telling you that they're not making the money, but they're just not making the money up front, right? Eventually they'll make their money, but they're not getting it up front. My issue with this is we are not releasing a complete product, and then everything inside the game that you think you like because it has an IP that you like, or it has a game style that you like, or whatever it is that you're focusing on, the game has a constant, you're jumping through hoops. You're constantly jumping through. Instead of you just loading up the game and like playing with your buds and having a good time, you have a honeydew list and you have to jump through hoops the entire time. It's not comfortable. It's not enticing. It's not something that you're looking forward to. You're like, well, I want to play the game, but I know when I load this game, I have a honeydew list I have to do before I can start playing with my friends. And like, they're all like this now. They're all like this.
Well,
so what about these games is so enthralling that you will jump through hoops for what you believe is your entertainment?
I think they purposely do this, right? 100%, because when people are hyped about a game that comes back out, you've already had the sunk cost fallacy of what you paid for Founders Pack or whatnot, so they have you.
I get it, man.
Hold on, they have you for that. Then when the new characters come out, like Jason and Agent Smith and Joker, they get people to spend the money right away, and then they already have you for that sunk cost in the game, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll fix it," and you're like, "Well, I gotta stay. I already put the money in, and this is a live service game, so it'll get better over time." But it's missing so many features that already was in the game at some point. I'm confused by this, right? Let me tell you the worst part about this, Sarge. The Gleamium that you can buy for $4.99, they give you 450 Gleamium. Okay, so you give them $5, they're essentially giving you $4.50. But a skin or a banner or something costs 500 Gleamium. But when you pay $4.99, you're getting $4.50. So if you spend $5, you don't even have enough to get the actual thing that you're looking for. So you have to spend $20. And when you pay $20, then you get something. I forget. It's like you get an extra $200 or whatever, which they took away from you, mind you, because if you pay $5, they're taking $50 away from you. If you pay another $5, they're taking $50 away from you, right?
But the conversation for games should not be how I can get around buying stuff to play in the game. The game should be talked about moments with your friends and what did you get next and what level did you reach or what weapons that you get. Like everyone's discussing this other shit that no one gives a shit about. This homework assignment that we're constantly in. Everything that you see in front of you is something that the game is not done. Everything, right? The removal of features, the crashes, the constant patches on day one, the overly priced game in the beginning that forces you to want to buy the service version of it as opposed to just getting the game. Like, what about gaming says to you I should pre-order and I should get a game?
It's a free-to-play game, so
What game? What game says that you should do it?
Here's one more thing, right? So in Destiny, when you had to do dailies and weeklies, and they said that you have to use a pistol or a sniper rifle or a heavy gun, go kill 30 of these guys, right? You didn't have to have a specific weapon. You just had to have a generalistic weapon, right? A class of weapon. Okay. In this game, as you're in the Rift mode, it splits off into two. And in the two segments, the top section, which you need to get the gems to get higher levels for this, and there's the bottom section that everyone can do, but the top section is blocked off. So if you want to collect all the gems, you need to do the top section. But to do the top section, in one of the levels, you need to have, it doesn't matter what character you use, you have to purchase the graphic T skin set, which is only purchased by Gleamium. Okay, so to get these things in the game, in a PvE game at the single player aspect, to get the gems, you have to spend real money to unlock, so you can unlock 5 potential stars on this thing. And I'm like, this is so scummy, dude. So scummy. If you can't do it's a graphic T, well, then you have to unlock the character. Well, they want you to play Joker. Well, Joker is the one character that's more expensive than all the other characters right now. Okay, one of the characters is 1,000, so it's like $10. He's $12.50. Okay, or he's 6,000 of the free currency that you get in the game, but you can't get that much yet because you have to grind through the game to get to the certain Gleamium to go up the battle pass, but you can't go up the battle pass that fast because they slowed down the battle pass drive. It's so many red flags in this game across the board. Until they put all of the stuff that I read to you back in the game, I don't think anyone should play the game at all. Okay, there's so many bad business practices and bad game design in here to force you to purchase stuff.
You understand that this is a war of attrition, right? Like, you understand. Like, if there's no other option and this is how you treat gamers who buy games, you just keep doing it over and over and over again until they think that that's normal and they just accept it to be normal, right?
Right.
The other end of the spectrum is if gamers as a whole just say, I'm done with you. I'm not buying it. I'm not playing it. I'm not
do for this. Yeah.
And if you just stop, if you just don't get it, I know everyone is so bored. You have to have the new candy. I know. I was there. I get it. But when I was your guys' age and waiting for games to come out, this wasn't the state of the industry.
No.
They were trying to beat each other by releasing a better game. Like, that was their goal, to release a better game, a cooler game, a game that trumps the game that my friend made. I have to beat the game that they made. We have to beat that game. That's the game we're going to release. That's not it anymore.
No, now it's about monetization.
It's all monetization. And so, like, if you look at the games that were stopped cold when people just said, go fuck yourself, right? They change on a dime immediately. If they know they can't get you on day one, they switch to something else immediately. That's how we have to play this now. That's how we have to play this.
I mean,
you're waiting for a good game. You see the review come out. They want you to pre-order. God knows. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why. Like, the sickness that gamers have now is you have to have it day one, so you have to pre-order. There's no such thing as a tangible game. It's digital. There's no limit. They're not going to run out. So you pre-ordering is just giving them money before you see it. And then when you see it, you're upset for the 5th time or the 6th time. And you're wondering why you did it again. Because it's in here now. They got you in here that you have to have it, right? Just don't, man. If the stats are saying that people are playing 5-year-old plus games or 6-year-old plus games, and that's just, I'm not sure you didn't say it was the majority, but it's a good amount.
No, the majority is playing 6 games, and the majority is playing 7-year-old games.
Realize that if you just turned off the spigot, right?
Sorry, let me take that back for a second.
Everybody's got at least 2 or 3 games that you can busy yourself with while they try to figure out what games to finish in 2024.
Well, this is why there's 6 games that everyone's playing. 60% of the people are playing 6 games in the gaming industry right now. Okay, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, whatever, right? And then the people that aren't playing those games are playing 7-plus-year-old games from
Shouldn't that tell you
whatever,
something?
right?
I mean, shouldn't that at least say that you should say that if 65%
the other 40%,
the
other 40% are playing 7-year-old plus games. Yeah,
it's just it hurts my soul to know that the ones in control of them stopping this nonsense is us. Just stop, right? And the gaming companies are doing it to themselves, right? I know we're gonna segue soon, but I watched the state of play thing, and I'm like,
yeah, we're not there yet.
I it's the same kind of mentality though. It's like I don't understand what it is you're trying to hook me with.
Well, I think the state of play actually had quite a bit of games for different people, but we'll talk about that when we get there, right? We're talking about monetization, right? We're talking about monetization from what Multiverse is doing, and there's another game that's doing monetization as well on top of this, right? So Rainbow Six Siege is a very popular game. When it first came out, it was dead in the water basically, but then they fixed it up. And now it's a very popular game, okay? So Rainbow Six Siege fans boo a $9.99 a month membership announcement. Okay, Ubisoft has announced a $9.99 a month membership for its shooter Rainbow Six Siege, and it's not going down well with the core fan base. Now, Rainbow Six Siege, which is not a free-to-play game, recently revealed a second season for Year 9, dubbed Operation of New Blood, and with the Ubisoft also introduces a R6 membership, okay? Now, this is on top of there's a battle pass. Now there's a membership on top of that, okay? It says the active membership holders will enjoy a monthly drops of exclusive content that includes limited time gear, animated legendary skins, 10 times battle level skips, a Bravo pack, and access of premium battle pass for $9.99 a month, or a discounted $79.99 for the year, okay? It's safe to say that this membership has not got down well with the core Siege fans, and many of whom are pointing out that the game costs money to buy and already has various microtransactions as well as a battle pass, has revealed by the TikTok clips posted below. The announcement of the R6 membership specifically was booed by fans during a Blast RC major Manchester 2024 event for Rainbow Six Siege that took place over the weekend. Okay. So there's a bunch of clips there. Now, Siege isn't the first live service offered a premium membership, but it also compares poorly to those from other games in terms of value. Now, the R6 membership is even being compared to favorably to the Fortnite Crew subscription, which is also for a free-to-download game. Although, yeah, you can also simply ignore it, and I'm aware that the system isn't tailored for people like me, for example, which the article is written by IGN. It says this doesn't take away to show how shitty is both intention of making the subscription a life point of this game and overall how bad the deal is. Okay, and this is what you're just saying, right? They don't make games anymore to make a game. They make games to see how much microtransactions and how much money they can pull out of you for the game. Okay, so this is another bullshit thing. Okay, so not only is Ubisoft trying to get you for $18 a month, right? You don't have to buy Rainbow Six Siege. I believe Rainbow Six Siege is also part of Ubisoft Plus. So now you can pay $18 a month to play Ubisoft Plus, but then you can also get the $10 for the membership, but you can also get the Battle Pass for that, and you can also buy individual skins and the Season Pass. And it's insane. It's insane.
But as a consumer, see, consumers that don't understand the value of a dollar, you only see it as your time for entertainment. It's disposable income. That's the issue, right? Most gamers who have their own money see this as disposable income. So you just say to yourself, well, it's going to cost X number of dollars for me to be entertained because I don't want to go to the movies or go out to here or go out to this location and deal with people because after a day of work, I don't want to see anybody. I either want to be by myself or I want to be with my wife and kids. I want to be in my house and enjoying myself and not dealing with the general public.
Right.
I get it. But the issue is that I think it's gotten to the point now where they are purposefully doing this to all games.
Sure.
So it basically forces you just to pay a monthly fee for the possibility that there's some games on there that you'll enjoy instead of you having to fork over $100 for a premium game that really isn't done.
Right.
So you keep coming out, and once again, the last 4 games we saw, they raised the price. Right, they're into the $100 category.
Yep, 110,
right? 130. So why would you want to? You go, man, $100,
110, 130 for games. You still have to wait for the season pass to come out.
I get it, right? $100 this, $100 that, and so you say to yourself, well, I don't need that. I'll just get the service. But if you add up the period of time that you were going to play the game, if I gave you 6 months with that game and you paid $100 up front, or you pay the $18 plus all the crap that you buy inside the game because you think
Right.
it's not a big deal, you're over the $100 mark anyway. So you don't care about being stolen from as long as you don't notice you're being stolen from. That's the sentiment that I get from everybody who gets mad.
Right, as
that I
long as you
talk
like
this
it.
way, right? As long as I like it,
Right.
right?
It's
As
okay
long
to
as I'm
get
having
stolen
fun
from.
with
Yeah.
it, I'm okay being stolen from for 6 months because I'm having a good time. Instead of, I bought a product for X number of dollars. It's mine. I can play it when I want. I don't need to be online. And it goes in the library if maybe I want to play it later or not. Or I gotta play it soon because Lord knows if it doesn't go well and we don't support the devs, that the game might only last 6 months and then it disappears. Like,
Right.
that's not options, man. That's not options.
Well, I have another story for you, which goes right into this. It's like I'm a professional at this.
It's not
Okay.
it's
Oh,
not
sorry,
even
still
a
going.
fucking option. It's not even
Yeah.
an option. You are being told, listen, basically some dude's got a gun to your head. He goes, listen, you could buy the game for $130. It's cool. Or you could pay $18 a month and give us a little bit of money each day. Or
Right.
in 6 months, if we decide we don't like that you didn't play, we'll just turn off the game. Like,
Right.
those are your options. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I buy product, I play product, I pay, and then I put it on the shelf. No.
One of the reasons I liked MMOs back in the day is because I paid $10 or $12 or $15 a month, and that was it. I didn't pay for any extra after that. It was, I'm paying $15 to keep the servers and supporting the developers because they keep making and supporting a game. They had events and different things, and they had expansions every year, and they would charge $40 for that. And I'm like, oh, cool, a new region. And I would pay $40 for the new region, and then I would pay my $15 for the. And I was okay with that, right? Because it was a live service game. It was a live service game, and they constantly made it bigger and better, and they kept working. But now these single player games charge you microtransactions. There's free games, there's paid games, there's $110 games. They all have microtransactions. They all have season passes. They all have battle passes. And I don't have a problem with live service games. I have problems with bad live service games. Okay. And I have a problem. I'm okay if it's a free to play game, but everything.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
They're all bad. What do you mean you have a problem with bad live service games? Like, the whole point behind a live service.
There are good live service games.
Is to make you believe that you think that you're going to have constant content that's actually valuable to you.
No.
For the lifetime of the game. The answer to that statement is no, the fuck they don't.
Well, there's very few games that do it. Okay, there's games that are doing it well with no monetization, and that's No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a live service game that hasn't charged one fucking extra penny.
The Jesus of Nazareth.
I got that. Okay, it's a live service game. They constantly update. Just had another update yesterday. Okay, they put it into the game. 27th update. 27th update in 7 years. Okay, never charged 1 cent for a microtransaction in the game. Okay, then you have, I said this earlier in my stream, you have Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves has been out for 5 years. Okay, and they have an Emporium store. They have microtransactions in it, but you could just play that on Game Pass, or you could buy it for $40. And you could just pay, and you don't have to pay for anything else again if you don't want to. Okay, and all their content that they've added has been free as well. Okay, Fallout 76, same thing. You could just buy the game straight up, never pay for all the other stuff. Okay, and they keep adding content itself on there for free. They're having another update coming out in a couple of weeks. Okay, then there's the other people that don't bring out anything. All they do is season passes. Right, a season pass is basically someone rolling in with a clothing rack and going, here you go. Here's this month's content that you have, and you're like, oh, cool. I get the pink jacket or the green jacket or the black jacket, and that's what a season pass is.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in Barbie time dress up. Like, I
understand that.
Okay, I don't care about Barbie time dress up. Right, I care about being entertained for dollar cost average.
I agree.
Right? But if I pay the money up front, I want the product then. Not the promise of a product later.
Correct.
Not the promise of things to come. Not the promise of, look at all this stuff coming around the corner. Like, that's not a sale, right? Those are promises, right? That's not a sale, right? I'm pretty sure for the majority of people that usually listen to us, you've got enough games in your library, on your backlog, that if you just fucking ignored the next 2 years,
you would never have to buy a game.
Just played the stuff on your backlog.
Yeah,
right.
You would never have to buy a game. Yeah.
And then when you care about 24, 25, it'll be 2 years down the road, and all that'll be discounted, and you can live in a perpetual state of I'm getting games discounted all the time because I'm not going to be there day one anymore because there's no point to be there.
Right.
There is 0 point to be there. But I get it. I want the new car smell too, guys.
Well,
I love the new car smell, right? A matter of fact, I spent years doing scents that even a car that's after a year old, and you don't even roll around with the windows down ever because you want the new car smell to be in there forever. But it doesn't.
Quick,
right?
get in the car.
And you go and you buy scents to try to get the new car smell back, and you don't. It's impossible. I'll tell you what, the closest one you can get is if you make sure you don't get cloth. Fuck cloth. Right? If you're gonna buy a car,
leather seats.
if you're paying for a fucking car and it's this fucking decade, you get leather. Whatever leather they have, you stop that cloth nonsense. And you get yourself a leather cleaner and you polish that leather and you smell like new car longer. That's the best you're gonna get. That's the best you're gonna get. Right?
Good.
What we're dealing with is just it's like the worst possible lie fest ever. Like they tell you the best. We're going to give you so much value, 30. Look at the value. The value's insane.
The value proposition.
Right, the value's incredible. You can't believe I can't believe you're not going to give me $200 for me talking to you about this. That's how much value there is. But there isn't. There isn't. Right? Because the only thing stopping you is these team-based games, and you're afraid your bro is going to get the game, and you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out, bro. You're going to miss on that. You're going to miss out on that battlefield moment. You're going to miss out on that ninja moment. Right. You're going to miss out on that team battle moment. The game doesn't work. It's broke. It's all hacked to pieces. It crashes all the time. What moment do you think you're missing? If I get to miss all those moments,
there could be that moment.
I'll miss all those moments and call up my friends like, hey, is it time to get it yet? I want to play it, but is it time yet? He's like, nope. Patch 36 came out, still fucked up. Great. I'll just go back to my library and play some more shit until they get their shit together. Like, I don't know what to do here, guys. Right? I love games, but you think it's okay to sell garbage and pay full price for it. I don't know. I guess you and your wife are having great conversations at home. You want to get another TV? I don't know. Does it work? It says it works. Maybe it works. Right? Coffee machine blows up every week. Got to buy a new coffee machine. Right? Who does that? You don't.
That's a different analogy because you would have to be buying a coffee maker that doesn't come fully to make coffee. You would be missing something.
Because we're living in a world where
6 months from now you get the water adapter piece.
No, it's very simple. We're living in a world where inflation is bad, but they keep buying $9 coffee and then complaining that they don't have money to go on vacation with.
Well, speaking of games that are broke, buggy, unfinished, making lots of money, okay? Enjoy what you like. We're just pointing out the facts here, okay?
Yeah, enjoy what you like.
Yep.
How about this? I'll tell you the next 10 games to get. You send me $5. I'll tell you what games to get.
Okay. Star Citizen pushes past the $700 million raise mark. And no, there still isn't a release date, okay?
Why would there be?
Why would they make a release date when?
Why would there be?
When they're making $700 million for a game that hasn't been released yet?
It's very I look at Star Citizen almost the same way I look at Bitcoin because it's a belief thing, right?
Yeah.
You believe in the game. There's enough people that believe in the game so hard and they love sci-fi that much that they support it. Same thing with Bitcoin. Everybody says Bitcoin's garbage, but there's so many people that believe in Bitcoin. It's done its cycle 3 times now, and every time the cycle happens, people say it's garbage. It's not real. Meanwhile, it went from 200 to 10,000, then from 10,000 to 4,000. Everyone panicked. Then it went up to 60,000, came back down to 20,000. Like it moves like a crazy person, but they hate it, but it's still there. Same thing, same deal.
So Star Citizen,
Star Citizen will be around until we're dead, bro. Honest to God.
Star Citizen.
That game isn't going anywhere.
The developer, okay. So Star Citizen has now raised over $700 million according to figures. I have a question. When are they going to stop?
$100 million.
When are they going to stop raising money? Don't they have enough money that they've made where they can make their own game now? They've raised over $700 million. Okay, raised $700 million. They didn't put the they've made money on top of this $700 million investment. Okay.
The only person I think that was smart in this entire transaction was when the brother took $7 million and just left. Like
Okay,
that to me is the way to go.
So the developer behind the controversial space sim makes revenue publicly available on his website, which at the time, article publication shows that Star Citizen has raised $701 million. CIG calls this money funds raised. CIG even breaks down the revenue in recent months, weeks, and hours. At the lowest point of the morning, May 28th, Star Citizen brought in $42,000 in 1 hour. Okay, about $1.5 million yesterday, and made May 27th, $10.8 million last week, and $4.7 million for the month. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, $10.8 million the last week, and $4.753 for the month of April. Things appear to have picked up considerably in May after the launch. So in May they made $10 million, almost 11. In April it was a slow month. They made $4.7 million. Okay, in alpha, 3.23. Okay, Star Citizen is considered one of the most controversial projects in all of video games over the 12 years. 12 years. Jesus Christ. Since the crowdfunding.
It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Okay, it's been called many things, including a scam, by those who wonder whether or not it's ever properly launched. The virtual spaceship, some in which hundreds of dollars are often the focus of criticism. They had a $48,000. Did you see a video I saw with Pirate Software? Is that his name?
The one where if you spent enough money,
it would spend enough money. It shows the next bracket. Yeah.
That's how you funnel people into
you
buying.
Can be in the $100,000 like program or whatever.
All I know is that I don't even know why we're funding Star Citizen. I mean, if this is what people do in order to fulfill their sci-fi fantasies, I think Tesla can probably do the same thing and have people just donate to them for real. We'll get some real spaceships going and start saying, we'll have the actual public fund the real spaceships, because if you guys are spending this kind of money for fake ships, why don't we just go for the real shit and actually start shooting people up, man? Let's do this for real. Obviously, you believe in the sci-fi and the fun factor. Let's go for the real shit. Why are you spending $100,000 on a fake ship? Why don't you fund a real ship and be first to get in line? I mean, that makes no sense.
I just have to feel like it. You know, it's an alpha, right? The people that play the game. Look, if you like your sci-fi game,
doesn't mean anything.
No, I understand that. I always say it doesn't. Alpha, beta, early access, preview program, or gold. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Right?
Belief system's a big deal, bro.
But the problem is,
you believe in the product. If you believe in the product, this shows you exactly what the story is.
As a person that likes Star Citizen, right? I'm trying to put my head in the space of someone that likes Star Citizen. I want a space game. Let's just say Star Citizen is Star Wars, right? I love Star Wars. You give me Star Wars where I can live in that world of Star Wars and fly those ships and do those things and just everything's Star Wars. But I know that game's in alpha, and I'm like, nope, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna make that game. It's so good to play the alpha. The alpha's been alpha for 12 years. At some point, you got to know the person that you're with is just full of shit. Okay, you keep saying, "Hey, we're raising money. We're gonna make this game. We're gonna finish this game," but that's never going to happen. That game is never going to be finished.
There's a term for I lose the terminology. It's a term where you keep saying we're going to make it better, and there's never a deadline. There's never like an end point.
Yeah, there's no deadline.
You find something that's going to be fixed, and you fix that one, and you add something new, and they have to fix that. Then you add something new. I forget what the terminology is. It'll come to me in a minute, or chat will say it. But like that's where they are, right? They're never going to finish because they don't need to.
Right. This is the game. Just say it's released. Right. This is the game. Scope creep. I don't know if that's the word.
It probably means the same thing, but it's just strange to me how we're still on this.
I don't know. It's just crazy to me. All right, the next story I want to talk about, right? Going off Star Citizen, change gears a little bit here.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Right? Because you said another milestone when you said it. Did they put in a thing for another benchmark for money for sending in money, or was that just was that an accumulation? Like, was that
they just surpassed the 700 million recently? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just passed 700 million recently, so they went past the milestone of 700 million. Okay. The next story I want to talk about is we did a story last year talking about how EA got rid of the contract with FIFA, right? They didn't want to pay FIFA the money. They said they were asking for too much. I think they were asking for like 500,000 or 500 million. I forget what it was. I think it was 500 million, if I'm not mistaken. I check me, chat. I think it's. I don't think it was that much, but there was a lump sum of money that FIFA wanted, and Madden didn't want to pay FIFA anymore. Okay, so Madden went the other direction, kind of went around FIFA, asked these other clubs to join, and then they came out with FC 24, right, which is the new FIFA. Okay,
because they didn't want to pay the royalties.
They didn't want to pay the royalties to FIFA,
right? Because they weren't making enough.
Right. They didn't want to split that money anymore. Right.
Go ahead.
They didn't want to pay that. FIFA knew they were making a shit ton of money. They raised the price of what the intellectual property would be. EA said, "Fuck you, we don't want to pay that money," even though it wasn't really that much money because they would make 10 times that, whatever, off of that. Yep. So they got rid of them, right? Started with the FC, went around them, got the different clubs of FC clubs to join, and now they have FC 24. So EA's first soccer game, FC 24. Well, now there's rumors, and not really a rumor. It's like it's here, okay? So FIFA, okay, it is a rumor right now, but it says the 2K Games has secured the FIFA video game license, according to a Monoplay Inc. Okay, he says the same source claims that FIFA 2K25 will launch later this year, and this comes just days after FIFA president said, quote, "We are developing new partners and new game. Get ready," unquote. Okay, so what I find very interesting about this is we've had this conversation before on my morning stream and in the past. Madden football was the greatest football game up to a certain point, and then NFL 2K football came out, and they wanted to compete. Okay, they wanted to compete with Madden, and Madden was scared because Dreamcast and 2K, Sega, 2K wanted to lower the price to compete, and they went so low they booted themselves out of the competition. Right, they basically bankrupt themselves. But before that, it was the best football game out there. ESPN 2K football, all right, was the best game. Madden was so scared, that's why they bought the entire licensing for 12 years or 15 years.
It was the original reason.
With opt-in out value afterwards, which they still have the contract for NFL, okay? And now you have the soccer, where because EA no longer has the brand of FIFA, because they didn't sign with FIFA, now FIFA's now said, well, we'll just go make another game, and now 2K picked it up, okay? Well, because they've done this, okay, now they can start doing exactly what they did before, because now EA cannot purchase FIFA to get the exclusive rights because they have the FC license, okay, or what they're doing over there. And FIFA's not going to fold now because EA screwed them over to not sign them, right? So now FIFA, the organization of FIFA, is like, let's try to put pressure. So I think this is actually pretty good because they can actually make a better game if they do the exact same thing they did with NFL 2K football. They do now with FIFA 2K. Okay, if they make a better soccer game than FC, okay, then they can start pushing on Madden or EA, and now there's actually actual competition. Actual competition in the soccer field version of this, okay? And then in a couple years, when the NFL license ends, it then opens up to everybody else, okay? Then there could be another NFL 2K football coming in, 2028, 2029, or something like that.
Well, let's just say it this way. What if you start your own league with your boys, right, in this other alleged game, right? And instead of having to buy card packs, you have actual drafts with your boys, and you do a draft, you pick guys out. This way, everybody can't have the same fucking guy, right? Everybody can't get messy, right? That makes no fucking sense that you're playing against somebody, everybody's got messy because they all spent 40 grand a piece, right? Makes no sense. If I make a game where anybody can get the players as long as you have a regular draft, and I'm not charging you for the cards, would you want that game instead of paying for cards?
What?
Like, I don't know. Is everybody so up and up about buying cards now that if you give me a game where we can do the same thing but we don't have to buy the cards, would you take it?
Well, what I'm interested in, right, for FIFA, 2K is pretty scummy with the microtransactions and stuff, with the NBA 2K and stuff like that. Okay,
sure.
So I'm thinking, instead of going lowball and make a cheaper game, what about a FIFA 2K is just a free-to-play game?
Oh,
and then they do the microtransactions just like Madden or just like FIFA or just like FC24.
I think they're lowballing themselves again if they try to do that.
Well, listen, the difference now is I think it's more sustainable now because now you're in a world where people want to play free-to-play games. Okay. Now I don't know their plans for this. If they're going mobile, if it's just on consoles.
Oh, I would definitely think
okay.
Mobile.
But what if they did a free-to-play soccer game over FC's 24's full price $70 game with microtransactions, right? It'd be interesting because a lot of people be like, well, damn, this is just as good as FC24, and I don't have to pay $70 off the bat. That would put a lot of pressure. That would put a lot of pressure on EA.
Any competition's good, though. At this point in this sphere, any competition's good. Any kind of pressure to put on EA instead of it just being them only. Because listen, we discussed this in the past. EA does not have to make a good product.
Right.
They're the only product. Any competition in this sphere is a good thing for the consumer. Let's see what happens. I want to see them trying to make a football game.
I mean,
soccer or football. I want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, Lurker says what? Or wait, did you say MLB on Game Pass? Well, MLB the show has been on Game Pass. MLB the show has been on Game Pass for the last 3 years, and they're making a shit ton more money there because you don't have to buy the game. You can if you want, but you can play it just on the streaming service, and you just pay microtransactions if you want the cards and go up against your friends. Krebsy says, but once you pull the free-to-play trigger, good luck walking it back. Yeah, but that's just it. What I'm saying, though, Krebsy, if they make a game just as good, right? Because remember, the 2K Sports was a better sports game than then. I'm speculating a lot here, okay? But what I'm saying is if they make the same type of quality as they did for the NFL game back in the day for 2K Sports, okay, they could 100% make the competition for EA. And at this point, 2K, maybe they have a vendetta after 20 years. They're like, you got us last time, we got you this time.
Just as a sidebar, that deal should have never been made, right? That deal should never be. There should never have been an opening where somebody owns the right to make the only sports game ever. That should have been locked out immediately. It's a monopoly, right? But they allowed it.
Right.
But they allowed it. Because that's how much money EA was throwing around at the time to get a lockdown on a 10 years, and then they re-upped it. Remember? They re-upped it for like another 6 or 8, I think it was. It was a long time, bro. Right? The whole Madden franchise and the FIFA franchise went along for a long time.
The NFL, they actually made a contract if they gave the rights to EA, if they hit a certain point, they could opt in for another 5 years, I think it was. But at the end of that 5 years, I'm not, for sure. At the end of the 5 years, I don't think they can sign for another extension. I think they have to let it go for a couple years and then maybe deal down the road. I don't think they can do it.
Never.
Okay.
Should never be a lockout.
But there shouldn't be a lockout like Sarge says. But they did have a lockout, 10 and then an additional 5 or 12 and an additional
it was
5.
Like 15 or 16 years.
It's been like 18 years when it's all said and done, something like that. It's almost 2 decades. Okay, almost 2 decades. So actually, I think it might be longer than that. Let me look that up for a second. Right, I want to make sure when we're talking about this.
I mean, it's not. This is not hard to figure out. You guys know that Madden doesn't do any changes at all, right? The Angry Joe reviews and the other people that do reviews, they show you that they're using the same sprites, the same thing. They don't even do anything else. They don't have to, right? This is standard business 101, man. If you don't have to put effort into something because you own the entire market, then you don't have to.
Yeah, so they've had the contract since 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 20 years, and they go past that, I think, to 2028, if I'm not mistaken. They renewed the contract, I think, a year ago or 2 years ago. Okay, so I think it's interesting that that's happening. And I haven't played a FIFA game since they locked it down. I mean, FIFA never got locked down, but what I'm saying is I haven't played a Madden game or a FIFA game since they locked down Madden, basically, right? Like I was disgusted by it. The last one I owned was Brett Favre on the cover, and I think it was 2009 or 2011. And the only reason I got it was because it came with my NFL ticket package. Like they gave me the game because I bought the ticket package.
I'm pretty sure that we're getting to the point now where a bunch of devs are going to program in like FIFA, the game, one time, full program code lines to the AI bots. right? And from that point on, the AA bots are going to just copy pasta the code, and they're going to figure out what code part's broken and fix it themselves. Like I guarantee you, like in 5 years, FIFA and Madden will just be games run by AI. That's what it will be. It will be coded by AI and run by AI. Right? There won't even need to be anybody there to actually code the game because it's the same game every year, right? What do I gotta fix? What do I gotta fix? The AI bot goes, "Hey, you want us to make another game like this, like we did last year?" And they go, "Yeah, chatbot, go ahead and make the same game." And they're like, new game. They put a new number on it, slam it on the fucking cover. We're good. Let's go.
What I find interesting, if the game is called FIFA 2K and not FIFA 2K 24, 25, 26, Titan brings up something here, right? FIFA 2K as a live service, no yearly release sounds plausible. Meaning, like every year, instead of paying $70 for a new game, you just pay, they just update it and you just constantly play and
charge.
You know what I mean?
It's a free-to-play game, roster change, and then you have to buy the guys again.
Now, Krebsy does say people buy NBA 2K yearly, and now they can do it with FIFA. I agree with that, Krebsy, but the reason I said what I said is because of the history between with NFL football and soccer and FIFA now with Madden, or FIFA, I'm sorry, with EA. They have like a bad blood, a bad fallout, right? When we read that article last year when EA was like, screw you, we don't want to do it because FIFA was asking for too much money and they turned down the contract. Now they have another contract with a different competitor, and the competitor is the person that tried to go up head-to-head with Madden back in the day and was winning. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason I say that they could try to do lowball them. Maybe not charge $70. Maybe they charge $40 for the game, right? Cheaper priced for a soccer game, and also do the same thing they're doing with microtransactions and whatnot. Or they just say, fuck it, free to play. And then the microtransactions. I don't know. That's just a thought.
Any competition is better than none.
Right. All right. So let's get to the state of play. We watched the state of play before the show started. Okay. We're going to start off with the announcement. So everything that was announced from PlayStation, the new state of play, as we saw it. Okay. It started off with Concord. Okay. Concord gets the first gameplay. They had this long build-up with the cutscene. It felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy type of feel. And I didn't know what the game was. I didn't know nothing about Concord. I heard the game was being made by PlayStation and whatnot. And I was like, oh, what is it? It's a PvP 5v5 shooter. Okay. Shooter. It basically looked like, to me, okay, it looked like a Crucible match inside of Destiny. Okay. When I looked at it, I was like, this looks like Destiny. Okay, it looks like, and I was like, okay, this is another. I'm not bit. I know I'm out of the bracket. If you want to say it's my age, or I'm just done with PvP in general. Okay, I think the game looked good. All right, even when they showed gameplay, I was like, oh, cool, visually, the art style, and everything like that. It just seems like another generic game. It does. It just seems like another generic 5v5.
I mean, it had destructible environment.
Like, what's the difference between
that was a bonus,
this
destructible environment,
Valorant, X-Defiant, the finals, all of these other games that it's just 3v3, 5v5, 6v6. It's just like, I don't know, man. To me, this is just yet another game that's just kind of like, okay.
Well, let's analyze that for a moment, right? Because let's look at it. Overwatch was the game. Overwatch was the game. That was the team shooter. It was supposed to be surrounded by stories of the characters. You're supposed to unlock the characters, and you were supposed to get DLC, and the characters were going to unlock, and you got the new characters, right? They fell through. They didn't want to do it anymore. They canceled the DLCs. They canceled the second one. They delayed it. And then when the second one came out, it wasn't even a sequel. It was just more Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
So if after all the hype and all the planning and everything they wanted to do with a team-based shooter, They then wait 6 years to come out with another one to try to do the same thing again. Doesn't make sense. However, what does make sense is the higher ups probably said, as far as revenue is concerned, this type of game we can monetize because of skins and characters.
Yeah.
And so we need to bring it back. Like, that's the answer. So what bothers me is there's the gap between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 and all the turmoil. about what they wanted to do, and yet somehow the rest of the industry says we're going to wait X number of years
and make Overwatch
to try to come out with a game that basically died in the window anyway. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
Yeah, it's very strange.
You have the Marvel one, and now you have this one.
I think what PlayStation is trying to do is that I think they're just trying to get. They don't want like a million people playing one game as popular. I think what they're trying to do is get like 3 or 4 games out there that are the same, and have a million people spread across multiple games. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like
it's possible, but why pick that genre?
I don't know.
Why pick the one that failed and nobody else gave a shit about? It was doing really well, but because it was such a quick peak and then a tremendous drop off, because remember, there are other games that exist in the world when you're playing these games. You're not the only game.
I think the quick turnaround time for these games is why they do most of it, and they can get high value for it because it's of microtransactions. It seems like the story missions in this is like Exoprimal, where in Exoprimal, even though it's a PvE/PvP game, every time you do like you level up like every mission or 2 missions, you had like story missions, and I think that's why they was so story heavy in the trailer that they showed, because I think as you progress through the story, like you do a match and then you come back to base and you might have a cutscene, or you do 2 things and then it's a cutscene. I don't know. So that's Concord. The next one,
to me, it's 6 years too late.
Sure, I just think there's an oversaturation with these games. I do, but again, I believe that they want as many games as possible and spread that million people across as many games as possible instead of one.
It looks fantastic, and I think that Destructible Environments is a nice cherry on the cake. But I just think it's too late. Like, are people still waiting for another team-based shooter? Is that what they're waiting for?
Yeah.
They didn't want to spend time on Overwatch 2?
Well, Overwatch 2 is Blizzard, and this is a PlayStation first party.
No, I know, but it's the same principles.
Yeah, same principle. But again, I when I looked at it, I went, this looks like not Halo. Well, Bungie. It looks like a Bungie game, right? And in chat they're saying that Firewalker, which is the company that's making Concord, is ex-developers. A lot are ex-developers from Bungie, and I can see it. I knew nothing about the game up to this point, so we'll see what happens with it when it comes out. God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC. Obviously, I think this is obviously not a surprise. People are excited about this. The first one did very well on PC when it came out. This will come out, so God of War was shown there. Astrobot is back in that PlayStation 5 game. Astrobot looks like their version of Mario. It's a 3D, you know what I mean? It's a Sonic, it's a Mario. It's very popular with the PlayStation crew. It was the first game that came out as a tech, sort of like a tech to show what the PlayStation 5 could do when it came out, and now they actually have a full-fledged game coming out. So it looked fun. It looked good. Marvel Rivals, here's another game, Overwatch clone that came out 5-6 years too late. They're adding more characters. You saw they show you Venom, and they showed you, who was the other person they showed in the game, guys? I forget who the other person was that they showed. But anyway, this game is just like the game we just talked about.
Did I miss a character? I went to the restroom at some time.
There was 2 characters that they show.
I missed the characters.
I forget the other guy they showed. It's missing from my head. But anyway. Oh, it's Warlock. Thank you, Adam Warlock. Yeah, so Adam Warlock and Venom are going to be in the game. Look, I've said this from the past episodes.
The more characters,
the better. Okay, hopefully they don't lock them behind a fucking paywall like Multiverse is doing. Okay, and just put them out there. This is a free-to-play game. Okay, this is a free-to-play game. Guys, is Concord, I'm asking chat, is Concord a free-to-play game, or is that a full-fledged like price game? I think it's free-to-play as well, if I'm not mistaken. But here's yet another game that you come out, right? So like the people that might not like X-Defiant, might not like Concord, might not like Overwatch, all of a sudden they're like, hey, I like Marvel Rivals. So Rivals is excellent when you have a good team. Dave Rose says needs Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, absolutely. They should bring those out before the game launches. And then during this, it's coming out. There's a beta, and it comes out for every system for the beta later this year, right? So, like I said during the stream, just give me a Marvel Universe and game with looking rival. Oh, Dave, I would love if that art style of Marvel Rivals in a different game. Right, like I'll play it. I enjoyed my time with Marvel Rivals, but I'm not gonna love the game myself just because the type of game it is.
The true live service aspect in a world where what we're thinking of is a world where I live in the Marvel universe. You create an open world of cities and towns and whatnot, and you get a hero and level up the hero with the actual villains and nemesis that villain or hero has in the game, and you level up, and then you change to a different area, different city when you change the hero.
Right.
That's the quintessential what live service would be, right? I'm going to be Wolverine. I'm in X city and the area surrounding it, leveling up my guy, doing quests, doing things, fighting against my nemesis, fighting against it. And then when I get bored of Wolverine, I change characters.
Right.
I'm in a different section of the fucking planet, in a different town, in a different thing. That's the golden world of live service.
Yeah, you won't be getting that anytime soon.
Yeah, but you laugh because you think that that's impossible.
No, I don't think it's impossible. I don't think they'll ever do it because of they don't want to put that much effort into a game.
But you want a live service.
Yeah, they want minimal viable product for live
MVP,
service.
Bro.
Yes.
MVP.
Yes,
I got it.
Yes, yeah.
I got it.
So, okay. So, Concord is not a free to play game, so it's a full price game. And there you go. Right, so the people are like, I'm not gonna dish out $70 for that game, right? I'd rather play another game like Marvel Rivals or another game that's much cheaper, right? So, I don't know. I think Concord has an uphill battle going on for it. Another game they showed that actually looked pretty decent.
No ambition, Salty. They have no ambition.
Right.
MVP, baby, MVP.
The Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay looked actually really good. Now, me and you played a shit ton of Monster Hunter World years back.
That was a great game.
Great game.
I really enjoyed it.
I thought this game looked pretty. The last Monster Hunter that came out, we both played. Didn't click for me. It felt awkward. It didn't look very good. This looks and feels, for what we saw, it feels like a Monster Hunter World. So I'm hoping it goes back to something like that. But I'm interested in this. All right. Obviously, I hope it's not an exclusive. I don't think it would be. It's Capcom. So I'm interested in this game. Didn't know it was coming, and now I do. So Monster Hunter Wilds will be on my list. Silent Hill remake and release date. Never big Silent Hill fan. Were you a Silent Hill fan? I never played it myself.
When the original PlayStation came out, I was a big Silent Hill fan. What I noticed about it, though, even though it's a remake, you'd have to know it from playing the original one. Like the original one, the setting's cool, the mechanics are interesting, but the game is very empty in terms of like details. Like it's got enough detail. It's almost like if you're reading like a comic book.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like the comic book guy is drawing just enough to give you the setting of the scene, but it doesn't look like a Division where like there's so much detail in the world, like it's insane, right? That's what Silent Hill looked like originally. Now you're doing a remake, and I would think that when you're doing a remake, that you would do like more details of what the town looks like. But really, what it looks like is the graphics are enhanced, but the emptiness is the same.
Right.
Like it's not. It's a more high def comic book version as opposed to being more. What's the proper term? Like busy in the details. Right. It doesn't look incredible. It looked like it just looked like it was updated graphics because Silent Hill was such an old game.
Right.
But it didn't look like the environment was added to. It was still an empty environment, but the graphics were better. That's basically it. So I'm sure it'll be decent. But I've played the Silent Hill series from back in the day. Is it going to make me rebuy the game? No. But if people who never played Silent Hill before aren't going to go back to a game that's 16, 20 years old, but they would play that, right?
Yeah, see, nothing that I saw, even Silent Hill 2, would make me, like, I don't own a PlayStation 5 now, and none of the games that we've talked about so far, the only reason God of War Ragnarok would intrigue me is because it's coming to PC. I don't need to buy a PlayStation 5, right? So we'll move on. We'll move up. What's going on, Alien? We had a massive crash in our stream, and this is the continuation that I'll edit later and then upload this as an episode. The next one was Dynasty Warriors Returns. Dynasty Warriors looks cool. It reminds me, just massive chaos, lots of people to kill and destroy. Dynasty Warriors looked pretty good. Again, is it a console seller for me? No, but I thought it looked interesting.
Well, was that the one where the girls were in the princess dresses? Was that the Dynasty Warriors, or was that a different game?
No, Dynasty Warriors was the
it-
guy in the middle of the field with
Dynasty
1,000
Warriors-
guys around him, like Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to make sure I was talking about the right thing because I saw they were back to back all the animation Japanese animation ones.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep track.
Yeah, the
But
JRPGs.
he's the guy with the giant spear and he's surrounded by 10,000 guys.
Yeah,
and he's
he's
doing whirlwind moves.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I remember.
All right, Path of Exile 2 coming to PlayStation 5, but it's also coming to PC. It's also coming to Xbox. This is a huge free-to-play game, right?
Huge.
It's a huge game. This looks like what Diablo wanted to be. Yeah,
the biggest ever, the biggest huge you could ever be.
Yeah, this is what basically Diablo wanted to be. So this looks good.
Why is it not? And why is it not? Why isn't Diablo not already?
Yeah, Path of Exile took what Diablo wanted to be in the past and became the game that Diablo was supposed to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And they've surpassed it. A lot of people are looking for this game when it comes out. They're very ecstatic about this game. So that's coming out.
Is it on time though? Is it on time? Is it supposed to come out this year on time?
It says early access starts in the fall. It doesn't come out until next year. It doesn't come out fully until next year.
Right.
And Diablo's been on the market by that time almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Yeah. And Path of Exile is going to come in and just destroy it.
I won't say it's going to destroy it, but I'll say that everybody who's playing Diablo is just going to just shift on over. I would think because you want the game that you were waiting for originally.
Okay, the other one that they showed is Until Dawn Remastered. Now, we had a little conversation in chat. Is this a first-party title? Because this is coming day and date on PC, but this is a first-party IP with a second-party developer. So this is not really a first-party game or a third-party game. This is a second-party game that's coming day and date on PC and PlayStation 5, and this is a remaster of Until Dawn, right? Again, never played Until Dawn, so I know really nothing about this. And again, it didn't excite me.
Well, it's not part of your wheelhouse anymore.
No,
right? It's not something that you were looking forward to.
The last type of game I played like this was Resident Evil, the one on GameCube. That's the last one I played of like a horror game like this.
But it looks like it's a storytelling game. It doesn't look like it's an action game. It's like you're in a horror movie. Is basically what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like choose your own adventure type of feel to it. This other one, this is the one I think you're talking about. This was the Where Winds Meet. Okay. Now it says you remember Where Winds Meet is a Gamescom opening night live 2022, where the ambitious style open world action RPG was revealed. Where Winds Meet is now confirmed for PlayStation 5, and the new gameplay trailer showed. This looked cool. It's it didn't intrigue me enough to go, oh, I got to get a PlayStation 5.
Which one was this one? I wasn't track of
here. I'll bring it up on the screen.
Princesses? Is this the one with the pretty princesses?
This one this one's like Souls-like. This one's like Souls-like. It had multiple.
Yes.
Multiple characters.
It's a boss battle game.
Yeah, boss battle game. Very Souls-ish type of game. So yeah, there's that.
It almost looks like I thought it was Wukong at first.
Oh no, Wukong has a very distinct. I knew it wasn't that. This one, Infinity Nikki.
This is the pretty princess one.
This is the Mario, hot Mario, basically. It's like a Mario game, but with sexy women. Okay, right. That's basically what it is. The waifu Mario is what people said in chat when we watched it. So yeah, this looked interesting, but again, Ballad of Antara. Okay, I think this is the game that you were talking about. Is it not, Sarge, that you were talking about? This is the one. The Antara game is the one. Well, let me see. We'll bring this one up. I think this is the one with the different characters and whatnot on here that you're talking about, or is this also like another Souls game? Pretty princesses. No, the Antara game is not the pretty princess one. This one actually looked pretty good. This one looked interesting. This one reminded me of the Wuhong game that you're talking about. The art style of this game looked really cool with the bosses and whatnot you're fighting.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, this one piqued my interest.
Is it class based though? Is it a story game with a character, or is it like you're picking different classes?
Dave says this is a bad news. This is going to be a free to play game.
Oh, come on,
so
Dave.
that means this game's going to be, or the other game that we talked about. You're talking about this one. Atara is going to be a free to play. So what are they going to charge for microtransaction wise? Oh, I mean, a shame.
No. Please no.
This actually intrigued me. Yeah, free to play. Interesting. So there you go. Ballad of Antara is going to be free to play. Okay. And then we had a couple of VR games, Sarge. We had the Aliens Rogue Incursions. Okay. They didn't show anything. They showed 3 seconds of an alien running across the ceiling, and that's supposed to sell you. Aliens itself is supposed to sell you on, well, it's aliens. Well, that's it.
But you know as well as I do, we've discussed this in the past where we're still waiting for the game to come out that makes me want to notice VR. Right?
Right.
That's basically it. Now that the one that looks like Skyrim,
the one after that was the Behemoth cinematic. This is a VR one.
That looks kind of cool.
Here, I'll play this. This is.
But is it done well enough to where you're not going to get motion sickness because of the kind of moves and stuff that you're doing with the sword fighting and whatnot? A lot of I'm hoping that the neck movements that they're showing in there is because the guy that's playing it is reacting instead of keeping his head still. That every time someone's attacking him, he's freaking out, and so he's doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because when you're watching him battle, like no one battles like that. Like, it's like he's almost like he's cowering. Like, oh my god, the guy's trying to hit me. Like, if the camera's moving like that because of the attack, it's one thing. But if it's moving like that because I'm moving the camera around, then that makes more sense. And if you just keep still, then the game won't jump around.
I think a game like this is bridging the gap. We're still way off, but this is one of those games that you would buy a PSVR 2 for to play this. Right?
Well, you're hoping that's what this is saying.
Right.
This is the kind of game where you're like, I would get a VR because of this.
Right. This is a VR seller, I think. It looks pretty good. Right. There's a couple of games that I've seen on my VR. I'm at a Quest 2 that I want to buy, but I just don't have the time to play it. So, but there's games like this first person that look pretty damn good. So I'm interested in that. And we'll see when this comes out. It's PSVR 2, so there's that as well.
I think
that's it. That's all the games they showed.
I think if they get a good point of field of view inside the helmet, right? If they make it to where you don't feel like there's an edge of the eyeglasses here, and the point of view is actually like what your vision is, it would go a long way into feeling more comfortable and that you're not in a box. Right? Did you see those new glasses that they have for Google? Did you see that? The glasses basically look like this, bro.
Is that on Google or Amazon?
I can't remember if it was Google or Amazon now, but they look like this.
And what are they? The AR glasses?
Yeah,
I think they're Amazon. If we're talking about the same one, yeah, I think it's the Amazon one.
I just caught an advertisement just recently. I was not on television, just watching videos and whatnot. It popped up. And I thought we're getting closer. We're getting closer because those are the glasses. We're getting closer.
From that story, what we're trying to do here, chat. We're trying to just I'm gonna do this in the edit. So the one that came up earlier, and then this one, I'm gonna edit them together to make them one seamless one. Then we're gonna upload that as the episode and take down the other ones. So we're gonna continue the stories. It says Call of Duty, right? Obviously, Microsoft went out and bought Activision Blizzard for the mobile and also for Call of Duty and all the other titles that they have. Rumors are going around that Call of Duty was going to be on Game Pass, and I don't know why that's a rumor. They pretty much told us in the very beginning that
there was a whole court case about it.
Yeah, that they didn't want it to go on Game Pass. I'm like, it's totally going on Game Pass, right? And they're like, it can't go on Game Pass. Well, it's going on Game Pass. So then the next Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, it's called Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which takes place during the Gulf War, I believe. The trailer shows Clinton and Bush and
the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes place in the Gulf War era, stuff like that. And everyone's kind of like freaking out because they're like, this is a dumb move. This is going to devalue what Call of Duty is. And I'm like, in what world are you guys, are you smoking crack? Because all this does, the metrics of this is good anywhere it goes, right? Because people on PlayStation, and this is going to be on all systems, Sarge, PlayStation 4, Xbox One X, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, PC, and maybe the Switch 2 when we find out about what happens with the Switch, right? If and when that gets announced, okay? Because they're putting it on the older systems, Microsoft is like, look, we know. I mean, and look, news doesn't just get around like the way it does. We found out that 50% of Xbox users, we talked about last week, haven't upgraded to Xbox. 50% of PlayStation haven't upgraded to PlayStation 5s yet. So obviously, Microsoft's like, we'll put it on the PlayStation 4, put it on the Xbox One X, because if they're not going to upgrade, we'll just bring the games to them, right? So they're trying to get the people to come over, and the only people that this benefits is the Game Pass members, which everyone in the industry hates, right? They're like, oh, it's on Game Pass, so it's a shit game. But Call of Duty itself is not a shit game. It's a Call of Duty game. Well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, just in general, right? So Call of Duty is now going to be on Game Pass, right? So,
which we knew.
Xbox fans are getting this on Game Pass, and I haven't played a Call of Duty game, or bought a Call of Duty game, I should say, since 2009 for Modern Warfare 2. That's the last single-player Call of Duty campaign I played, and that was, 9, 10, 11, 15 years ago, okay, is the last time I played a single-player Call of Duty game, okay? Now, this is going to be on Game Pass. This will be the first Call of Duty game I played in 15 years for the single-player campaign, because I don't have to pay $70 for just the single-player campaign, because I'm not going to play multiplayer, right? I'll try, I'll play the single-player, because now I don't have to dish out. I said back then, I was like, this is why I stopped playing. I was like, it's not worth the $60 at the time for the campaign, right? So
no.
It's still charging on PC. It's still charging on PlayStation. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is going to devalue Call of Duty." I think it makes the value of Game Pass not monetarily where they have to raise the price for Call of Duty. I don't think it's just raising the price because of Call of Duty. I do think the price will go up, but I think they have to add a lot more stuff. If they add more Activision games, if they add World of Warcraft, if they add all that stuff. But I don't think because of this Call of Duty, all of a sudden Game Pass goes up $2. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay.
Well, it's going to go up. It's going up around the same time anyway. So if you want to use this as a cause and effect, that's one thing. But
sure.
The price is going to go up. Listen, the dream for Microsoft is getting all their shit to work and cloud gaming to work properly, and then charge $1 a day. Like, that's what they want.
Right. Well,
right?
Yeah,
that's what they want.
$1 a day. Right.
$1 a day. Right. $1 a day for unlimited gaming is the advertisement that's coming. Right. So $30 a month. It's just part of your entertainment bill, bro. Right? $30 a month, $360 a year, but you have unlimited entertainment. Why buy another game again?
Right.
That'll be the selling point, right? Because once you get enough people into the ecosystem, it no longer matters. They can make 1,000 live service games, 1,000 microtransaction games, because they're getting money every month to do nothing, right? Just collecting money.
Here's the smartest thing ever, right? If people don't want to play Game Pass and you're on Xbox, and they're like, well, if you don't want to play Game Pass, then you can buy it for full $70, right? You can play the free Warzone. Everyone can get that and play it, right? And then you could buy a microtransaction or a season pass, or you could stay on the console that you're at and then buy $70, or you can pay Game Pass, right? They win no matter what. They win at full price, they win at free to play, and they win it subscription service. Okay.
Yes.
And on top of this, Big Bad Mo, talked about this a couple days ago in our morning stream. He says all the Call of Duty games are coming out, right? And I said that's a big value. And someone in my comment section in our YouTube video said,
you mean like all of them, meaning all the ones in the past?
All 20 of them, right? All 20 of them are coming into Game Pass at some point, okay? And someone said, well, if they didn't buy the games now, why would they go back and buy them now? Or why would they pay $18 a month to play? And I'm like, well, easy, because even if they're $10 right now, and to go buy all the Call of Duties, even the first one to now, you're still spending $200, $300 for all of them, right? If they're 10, 20 bucks.
Which you're not going to do anyway.
You're not going to do that. But you would pay $18 to have all of them on Game Pass with 400 other games Okay, and if you want to try them, you can play them, right? You see what I'm saying? The value is there, and the value for Game Pass for Call of Duty, this is just one game that's coming on, right? So let's say this comes out in August or November, okay? Great. Call of Duty comes out for November. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try Call of Duty. Instead of paying $70, I'm going to pay $10 for that tier to try Game Pass. Great. That's 1 month that you're in. Okay. Then Starfield comes out for their update for the DLC. And you're like, oh, you know what? I didn't try that game. Let me go for a second month inside of Game Pass. And then boom, they have you that. Oh, what's the next thing coming out? Oh, Fable's coming out. I'm going to stay, you skip 2 months. And then next year, you get a third month where you're playing Game Pass. And then, oh, what else is coming out, right? This is exactly what they want to do. They don't need a game to come out every single month of a brand new title. They just need you to come back 4 months at their titles, which is one a quarter, okay? But while you're there, you might stay longer. You might even do, right now, you're like, oh, Call of Duty's coming out on Game Pass. Buy Game Pass now. Right.
Or forget to cancel because you're too busy doing other stuff. You're like, another game's coming eventually anyway. Like there's nothing going on the next 3 months, but that fourth month, a new game's coming out. So like cancel and then get it again, or just let it ride.
Just let it ride, right?
Just let it ride.
And that's what happens. They get you in for $1 because right now they announced it, Game Pass, and they also have a $1 special going on right now. So people are like, oh, I'm going to get it. And they get it now. And then 5 months down the road, they have you for 3 months. They had you for 4 months. They had you for 5 months, right? This is genius by them taking this as the carrot, right? Sure. Because a lot of people, I don't think this is going to make a lot of people from PlayStation go, oh, it's on Game Pass. They're not going to buy an Xbox to get Game Pass. They're not going to do that. Because if you're only switching over to Game Pass, you're not going to spend $500 so you can spend $10 on Game Pass for a Call of Duty for 1 month. You know what I'm saying? They'll just go buy the game because that's the game that they're playing, the diehard Call of Duty guys. But I do believe that this is a bigger thing where people are like, down the road, this Call of Duty, next Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty is all on Game Pass. The brand new Call of Duties is always going to be on Game Pass. And the mentality...
why would you buy an $80 or $90 Call of Duty or just get it on Game Pass?
Right. The mentality is, oh, well, Call of Duty, right? Like, I bought MLB The Show the first year it came out on Game Pass, right? I was like, I like the show. I'm going to support it. I bought the... Every year after, I just play MLB The Show on Game Pass. Right, I don't buy it anymore because it's a roster update, and they've already conditioned me. Right, well, you bought it once, it's out every year. Well, why would you buy it again? Just do the month Game Pass, right? So I don't know. I think it's a smart move. Dave Langer says they should just sell the campaign for $20, $30 for people not on Game Pass that don't care about multiplayer. They do. It's called Game Pass.
Right, but they don't want to sell it for 20 or 30. They want to sell it at a full price. So then you say to yourself, why would I pay full price when I can just get it on Game Pass?
Right. If you want to play the Call of Duty just the single player, you're on PlayStation. You could go play this game on your Samsung TV. You can go play this on your PC. You can go play this on your old PlayStation 4. You can go play this on Xbox One. If you have Game Pass, you could go play it in many other places, right? Obviously, you can't play it on the PlayStation 4. But if you want to pay $20, $30, play the campaign for 5-6 hours, and then cancel your membership, they're okay with that. That's what they want you to do, right?
Well, that's just it. You make the price high enough to where it's cost effective for you to try out Game Pass.
That's why Star Wars Outlaws, $70,
$130,
$110, $130, or $18, right? So. Game Pass. Another thing I saw is the next Xbox. It says Xbox Next will be a reference design for manufacturers to make their own device. Rumor. Okay. It says the Xbox Next is going to be a very different gaming device compared to its predecessor, according to rumors circulating online. According to Windows Central Jez Corden, Microsoft's next-generation console will likely be referenced as a device with heavy Windows slant for manufacturers to make their own devices like a Surface Pro 11. In reference devices, or AI PCs, this would be a huge departure from the previous Xbox console, as it would essentially make it a PC that would potentially run Steam games as well. And thus, even the former PlayStation executives available on Valve's digital store, like Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, and God of War. Okay, it says Jez Corden also is using the Surface Pro 11 as an example is very interesting, as a rumor earlier this year that the Xbox Next development is being led by a Surface team. The next Microsoft console will also said to be released in multiple SKUs, including a handheld one that will also be capable of running games natively while also supporting cloud gaming. I still think it's a bad move for a handheld device, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think the handheld's coming from Microsoft. I just feel like they're teaming up with someone.
Yeah, but I don't see why, though. I don't see why you think you need yet another device. All the devices that you have Windows on, do you need to go out and buy a handheld unit specifically for gaming for Microsoft?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Real quick,
I don't get it.
Chris Coleman says, if I pay $70, I can play as much as I want for the year. If I want to do the same thing with Game Pass, then cost more. Your idea sounds great for casuals and that are not Call of Duty fans. Absolutely. If you want to play Sea of Thieves, buy the game. If that's the only game you're going to play, buy the game. If you're only going to play No Man's Sky, buy the game, right? Game Pass is to play as many games as possible. It's not about casual gamers. Hardcore gamers play lots of different games. There's hardcore gamers that play one game. There's hardcore gamers that play multiple games. There's hardcore gamers that play just one type of game. Okay,
yeah, but when you say hardcore gamer, if you're a hardcore gamer, you're gonna buy Game Pass and buy games.
Sure,
right?
That's what I'm saying. There's different hardcore gamers. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So if someone wants to play just Call of Duty and you're an Xbox guy, and you already have Game Pass, you could play just Call of Duty all you want, but there's also other games that you could also play. Like, I don't know the person that you're talking about, Chris, that's just playing Call of Duty every day, 7 to 10 hours a day for 365 days. To me, that percentage of person is so minute. That's the 1% of the 1%ers, okay? And if you're going to be that person, buy the game 100%. Okay, if you're a person on Game Pass, you have Game Pass right now, and Call of Duty's coming, you'll play Call of Duty for the single-player game, you'll play a couple matches with the PvP, and then you'll move on to the next Game Pass game that's coming out. That's how Game Pass is operated. That's what it is, right? I bought certain games. When Sea of Thieves came out, I bought it because I didn't know if it was going to be on Game Pass forever. I was like, if I play this all day, every day, is it worth me paying $18 like it's an MMO? Or do I just buy the game for $40 and then I can play the game for whatever, offline, online? So, I don't know. I think the person remember, 50 million people buy Call of Duty every year across all platforms. That's still the minority of the people that are playing the game because there's still another 300 million people on consoles that didn't buy Call of Duty. Do you see what I'm saying? So this opens up the door for those people that didn't buy it that can now try it for a small fee instead of just purchasing the game for $70.
They want you in the ecosystem. It's getting harder and harder to hide the fact that they're just going to keep raising the game prices until it's more cost effective for you to buy the service than it is to buy the game. Right? And not to mention, there is no buying the game anymore. It's digital anyway. So what's the difference?
Well, here's the thing: what you're saying. When you're thinking of the casual hardcore that plays Madden, 2K, FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, and COD. Well, here's the greatest thing now, right? If they play Madden, they buy Madden every single year, $70, right? If they pay for FIFA every year or FC 24, that's another $70. That's $140. Now they're playing COD. That's another $70. That's $210 now. Okay. Well, for just $30 more. For $30 more, you can get the entire year of Game Pass at the $18 level, okay? If you pay just the $10, and I don't know what level, I think premium, to get the EA on Game Pass, you have to pay the higher tier, so I think it's $18, okay? So for $30 less, you can play Madden, FIFA, and COD on Game Pass, and you get 400 other games, right? You're actually getting a better deal if you play it through Game Pass than buying just the 3 games standalone.
That's what they want. That's what they want. Right? Because remember, for them, it's reoccurring revenue. Right? It's reoccurring revenue for things that don't matter.
Right.
For the entertainment purpose, $480 million a month. A month.
It's actually more than that. It's like 600 million because it's up to 35 million subscribers. And yeah, and 20 million of those are on PC. Meaning they're paying either the higher tier. There's more people with Ultimate than non-Ultimate. And when they did the stat when we read about 7 or 8 months ago, it was 400 million, and that was based off of 15 on PC and 10 on console at paying at the higher price, whatever. So it was like 400 million with those stats. Now with an additional 10 on top of that, you got to assume maybe 3 of that is an additional Ultimate. So they're They're closer to 600 million a month than they are the 400.
So think about it, man.
No, I know. Yeah.
$600 million a month.
Right, for doing nothing.
That's $1.8 billion a quarter.
Yeah. So going back to what they're talking here in the article, right? They're saying that it's a device. Now, I had a person come into my stream when I first started streaming back in 2014.
Sprinkle salt. This is conspiracy.
No, this
talk.
is not conspiracy. Someone came into my stream and said this to me back in 2014.
But it's like UFO talk.
Yeah, 2014, 2015. I remember it like it was yesterday. Okay, someone came in, we were having a conversation about Xbox and whatnot, and someone came in and just randomly came into my chat, don't know who the person was, and just said, the next console is going to be meal pieced, where you can make the console that you want, right? And I was like, okay. And then the Xbox came out, and obviously it wasn't that. But now, what they're talking about here is that you can make the console that you type of want, the technology.
What do you mean? What do you mean by can make my?
I don't know
console?
if that means that you can make it better graphics card, more storage.
Like you're building a PC, but it's a console,
right? Well, that's what they're saying here, that you'll be able to build it like it's a PC, right? The devices like the Surface Pro reference the device of AI PCs. This is a huge departure from the previous Xbox consoles. Was essentially making a PC that could potentially run Steam games as well, right? So they're basically making it a mini PC with the cloud gaming and whatnot. Could be possible. Obviously,
what's the price point that wants me to make a modular console as opposed to just going out and buying a damn PC?
Right.
Because then you're basically saying that you're buying it's a poor man's PC. Is basically what you're saying. Like I'm gonna custom make my own console.
See, this is why I think they have to get the cloud gaming is a very important thing for them, and they have to get the price down for that keystone that they talked about like 2 years ago, right? I looked at the articles from Toys R Us, the ads from Toys R Us back in the day, where the consoles were like the PlayStation 1 and the $150, right? $150 was like, you walked in, even back then, you're like, $150, I'm gonna buy one. And you're just like, give me that console, right? Because it's $150. Okay. Games still cost $60 and $74 for Nintendo and all that stuff. But the console was so cheap back then. You just it was like a bargain. You're like, walk one out, you grab a piece of gum.
That's why they lost money on it, because they need you to have the system in order to sell you all the software.
Correct. Now PlayStation just came out and said that they have the best revenue they've ever had with the consoles, but they're also charging $600 for their consoles and whatever not, right? So they're charging more. They're ahead of the game of what PlayStation 4 was and so on. But the price point is, if they keep it low enough, people would just buy it, sort of like the Fire Stick did a couple years ago in the Chromecast. When Chromecast was like $50 and Fire Stick was like $100, people were just buying it. They're like, I don't even know what I need this for. They would just buy it. The Roku, it's like $50, $60. They're like, oh, what is this? I can watch TV on the stage. Just plug this in. And they plug it in, and they just have cable TV or, internet TV. And it was like a no-brainer. It's just like, oh, $100? Yeah, I'll buy that. And that's what I think Microsoft is trying to do with that keystone. They just can't get the price, because they even said they can't get the price point down low enough yet. So I'm thinking
but eventually they will.
Right.
When you're making $1.8 billion a quarter, I think pretty much you can steal from Paul to give to Peter and sell your little stick. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Langer says, doesn't GeForce Now work pretty good if you have a good internet connection? Langer, when I tell you I just went on vacation, right? I just went down south, visited Sarge and stuff. I brought my headset with me. I don't bring my console with me anymore. I literally bring my MetaQuest 2, not 3. Okay. And I put it on my head and I play Game Pass on my mother-in-law's Wi-Fi. There is no problem, right? She's got decent internet. Okay. I'm playing late at night. No one else is on. Okay. But I'm playing, and it's like, every once in a while you'll see like a little hitch or something there, right? Now I'm not playing competitive games, right? I'm playing single player games. I was playing Fallout 76, right? I was playing multiverses. Okay. Like I was playing these things on the headset. Actually, I wasn't playing multiverses. I did play multiverses before, but not this weekend, right? Like you play this, and I played Star Wars Battlefront 2 with my son. It feels so being a 46-year-old man, okay, putting this on my head and playing it through the cloud and playing the game, I'm blown away. Okay, where obviously someone smaller or younger or whatever, okay, it'll be like, it's okay. Like, I'm blown away that I can play with a headset on my head, no console, no nothing. I have a headset on my head and I'm playing games through the magic of the internet, right? Just flying radio waves in the air, right?
Yes, it should. It's
fucking amazing. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, it's like Wonka vision. You know, like in Willy Wonka, he's like, we're going to take the candy bar and shrink it, and it comes all the way over here. I call it Wonka vision. And you're like, oh, my God, it would be amazing if I could reach into my television set and eat a candy bar. Okay? That's what this is. It's a candy store being beamed to my head. I just put a headset on, and I'm playing Game Pass games. Or PlayStation Plus. You could do it with your phone, right? You take the PlayStation. You can play your video games. You don't need to buy the Portal. You can literally just play the game on your cell phone that you already have. It's amazing. And people are just like, it's okay. Okay. What is it, Louis C.K. when he talks about the airplane where you're flying up like 7,000, you know, you're
700 miles an hour, you're online and no one's saying wow.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit like it's supposed to be a given.
Yeah, it's just
right?
there.
Right. You're moving at 700 miles an hour and you working on your phone.
2 seconds late, you're like, son of a bitch, it's too slow. You're like, you're watching television and internet surfing, and people are upset about it. I don't know. I find it amazing. Just buy a PC at that point. Yes and no, right? There's certain people that look at it and go,
because we all know a good PC now, dupe, is $3,000.
That's right.
If I can modulate my console for $750, I think we have a deal. Right? Modular Xbox system I build myself, $750. It's all mine because I modulate it. Or I get a PC for $3,000. Which one am I getting?
Right. I mean,
which one am I getting?
If you have $3,000, here's the best part. I love. I did this earlier. PlayStation guys like, well, we like high end stuff. I'm like, if you liked high end stuff, you wouldn't get Sony. You would get a PC. A PC is a higher end piece of equipment than the Sony PlayStation, right? You would get a PC, not a PlayStation, but you know, whatever. Argus says 3,000 if you want a PC, that's worth it. Plus, I would rather sit on my couch and play games than a desk. Sure. You know, though, you could link up your PC to a television set, right? Like, you don't have to sit at a desk. There's no rule that says you have to sit at a desk when you have a computer. They make different things where you can stream your things from the thing to the television set. I do it. I can go in my living room right now and see my computer screen on my television set, and very, very little latency. Okay? Like, we're talking like most normal people wouldn't even tell. Okay? I do it all the time, right? So it's not like it's we live in a great, fantastic world here with technology. It is, right? And people, we take it for granted. I'll tell you that. One of the last things I want to talk about, and we talked about the state of K. We talked about, yeah, okay. So AI, we've been talking about AI for the last month and a half on this show. Okay, This article here talks about, let me see if I can get it on the screen. It says, is AI all a fad? Okay. It says the new report suggests very few people are using the tools like ChatGPT, and the hype is being misconstrued for actual public interest, right? So they're saying that it's all fake. No one's using AI. And I'm like, you're crazy, because
they're out of their mind.
I know a lot of people using AI that have never even touched the AI before. I have people that I didn't even know were savvy in anything. Like, did you know about the AI thing? Did you see this? They have it on their phone and they're using it, right? It says a new report suggests that the AI is just hype, with only a few users leveraging the technology capabilities daily. Okay, it says
only a few users, like the guys running ChatGPT on the stock market and making a killing. Just those guys,
right?
All right, no problem.
Well, how many more videos have we seen on YouTube recently? People losing their jobs to AI. But no one's using AI, right? Just small amount of people are using AI. Are you sure? Maybe the AI are bots. Maybe the people that are using it are bots. Okay. It says the report author claims that most people are misconstruing AI hype for public interest. And a separate report suggests that GPT-4 launch leads to the biggest spike ever in ChatGPT downloads and revenue on mobile. Okay. As it says, as you might know, probably figured out, the huge corporations are investing heavily in generative AI. Apple pulled the plug on the electric cars project and channeled the resources to AI Advanced. And the new report suggests that OpenAI and Apple recently signed a deal to bring ChatGPT to iPhone. Okay, perhaps the bid to catch up to Microsoft, which is according to an analyst, is to on the brink of reaching the iPhone moment with the AI after becoming the world's most valuable company ahead of Apple. Okay, with over $3 trillion in market capitalization. Now, interestingly, a new report that Reuters Institute of Oxford University indicates that very few people are actually using AI, and despite the overwhelming hype from around technology in advance of the BBC. The research included that survey examined 12,000 people across 6 countries to determine if the usefulness of AI tools like ChatGPT. Strangely enough, only 2% of the participants used AI tools daily. And the study also revealed that the youth of ages 18 to 24 are more inclined towards AI and more likely to integrate the technology into their routines. While speaking to the BBC, reports led the author, Richard Fletcher, explained that the most people that are misconstruing the hype around the AI for public interest. I don't know if, I mean, obviously with these tests, okay, they did 12,000. That's a small, just in my circle of people that I talk to daily, okay, 4 out of 5 people are using AI, okay, in ChatGPT.
They just started.
Right.
They just started. You think we're going to go backwards? You think like the self-driving cars are going to go away and like your computer doing all kinds of stuff for you before you put it into the robot chip and babysit your kids with it? It's going to go away? Like, it's not going away.
Right.
It's not going away.
Right. The funny part is
you can opt out and sit in your house and be a boomer and be an analog and just talk on your smartphone and don't have any robots in your house. But lo and behold, the AI's around you.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking. A lot of people think that no one's using AI, but at a certain point, you could just program the AI to do certain things and you're not even doing anymore. So yes, less people are using AI, but there's also more AI being used, right? AI is being used for everything. In your search, in your algorithms.
Exactly. Kids are already using AI to write their papers, so teachers have to use AI to see if they're using AI to write papers. They're already using AI against AI because the kids are writing papers with it.
Right. The study, anyway, you're asking someone right now, those 12,000 people probably are like, oh, no, I don't know what ChatGPT 4 is. I don't even know what it is. Come back in 6 months. Come back in a year. Ask the same 12,000 people how many people are using the actual AI now.
Right. Come back after people stop paying $15 for a Big Mac meal. Right. When we go back to normal and people have more money loosened up a little bit, and you're not worried about your kids being on the streets because your money situation's fucked. Right. Yeah, we'll see it. Trust me. We'll see it.
Yeah, I find it a weird. I always find these statistics weird. Again, my small group, 4 or 5 of us are using the AI.
Horses and buggies aren't going anywhere.
Right. You'll never fly, kid. Right. Like
fly across the ocean. You guys are nutty.
Like, it's just amazing to me. Like, technology gets exponentially faster. People are like, oh, we're never going to do this. And then all of a sudden we're this. And then we're like this. Right. We're never going to drive.
But the difference now is before the guy says you're never going to fly, it took 40 years to fly. That guy's dead. The guy who says we're never going to fly now, next week we're flying. And so like you're proven wrong like, immediately. Like it's not going to be one of these things where you stand on your soapbox screaming at the wind. It's never going to happen. Like your friend's going to tell you you're a lunatic because next month his job's gone because AI took it. You know what I mean? Like
that's exactly what's happening.
You saw a bunch of hoot nanny. You're fired. What? What happened?
Right. What I find funny, just if you just asked 20 years ago, everyone's going to be talking on their cell phones, be like, that's never going to happen. We have a rotary phone. You know what I mean? And now everyone's on a cell phone, right? Everyone's in self-driving cars. Not everyone, but there's more self-driving cars.
I'm waiting for this. This is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting. See this? I'm waiting for this.
I'm waiting for skip that. You'll skip that.
Nobody's holding on to their phones and you just have it here. This is what you're doing. Yeah. I'm not putting the chip in my head. That's what it's going to be. I'm going out, not a cyborg. If I have to go cyborg, I'm going full cyborg. But I'm not going where people putting a chip in my head and wandering the planet. No.
Well, I think what happens if it becomes a wearable, like you're saying, like a watch basically makes you a cyborg right now, like a smartwatch. You're wearing it. It's not embedded into you. But if let's say you wear a watch now, Sarge, but the watch all of a sudden projects on your arm, like the projection of the screen, and then you can just type your arm, right? That's we're there. I've seen that technology.
Why are you typing? Put the chip in your head and just think about it.
Yeah.
He's like, are you taking a shit? Nope. Send it an email.
Yeah.
Just sit on the park bench and just their eyes are going cross a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're writing a fucking email, but because they're thinking about it.
Yeah, it's
going to be hilarious.
It's insane. One of the managers down at the restaurant I eat at, he just got his Tesla got updated, so now it self drives itself. Okay, he's telling me about it.
It didn't before.
Right.
It updated and go. Now I can drive myself.
That's exactly right. It didn't
that's
on Monday. It didn't on Monday, and now on Tuesday it does.
Right. Questions, anyone? Questions? Yeah. My car couldn't drive itself.
Yeah.
Now it does. Wait a minute. Are all the things on the car already? They just didn't get the update? Like all the things that allowed a car to drive by itself were there.
Yeah.
And now we just turned on the switch?
They built it in, and then they did a patch. Sort of like No Man's Sky. And then all of a sudden now your car does things it didn't do before. Yeah. And they do updates all the time. So now he's got a self-driving car. And he's like, it's amazing. He's like, you have to tap the wheel every once in a while, and it goes like this, and it knows how to go a roundabout. I go, wait a minute. It knows how to do a roundabout? I said, fucking people don't know how to do a roundabout, but the computer knows how to do a roundabout. And I'm telling you, technology. So when they do studies like this and say people are not using AI, bullshit. Bullshit. Those 12,000 people you interviewed haven't touched AI yet. But they will. 100%. If their choice or not, they will.
Well, before they break through the lines to see what the actual universe is going to be with AI, they're too busy catfishing each other with their robotic faces and trying to get, they're doing all this other crazy shit with AI instead of doing the stuff that you should be doing, which is get on the market now, quick, get your AI market now.
Yeah, Dolphin, it's a $10,000 upgrade, but he obviously, just like you pre-ordered a game or you paid for the DLC like a year in advance. They paid that money for that upgrade, and now it's out. So now his car now has the DLC, so he can self-drive the car. Yeah, he pre-ordered it, and then
Dolphin, man, there's not going to be any problems later with any loose ends or whistleblowers because someone just makes a call to Tesla, they pick the car number, and the car just drives off the cliff. That's the end of it.
Oh, yeah, cars have microtransactions now. BMW is trying to have a speed test with you. We did that months back. Where they are literally charging you to go faster. They put a governor on your BMW. Was it BMW or was it Audi? I think it was BMW.
I think it was BMW.
Yeah, BMW has a governor on the system where you have to pay a monthly fee to go faster and also to get a key fob now. It's a monthly fee for a key fob now. Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this is actually the actual ending now of the Generation X Gaming Podcast. Episode 398 is in the can. We do appreciate you for coming out and hanging out with us. We had a technical difficulty about an hour ago where the complete stream went out. So what's going to happen going forward is that I'm going to take that one down. I'm going to take this one down. I'm going to combine both of them, and I'm going to upload it as one episode for you guys to watch in full, and that'll be up hopefully by tomorrow. I appreciate it. No, I'm not on Lono's stream tomorrow. Because I was sick earlier this week, Dave, I have to get my uploads and stuff out for YouTube, and I have a lot of stuff to do before noon, which is when I would go on the show. But then I already made plans with my family because it's summer break and my son's out of school, so we're going to be doing something tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, I got to get all my uploads and stuff edited and whatnot. So I will not be on Lono's show tomorrow. I will be back on Monday morning for our normal stream starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you come back out for that. We'll have uploads loading up this weekend as our daily schedule. And some of the stuff that you watched me do earlier this week on Wednesday and Thursday for shows this morning, those will be upload single videos throughout the week coming this weekend and next week. We appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to watch us or listen to us, you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, anywhere else where a podcast can be listened. If you'd like to give us above and beyond that, you become a $5 membership. Obviously, it's free to watch this and listen to us. We have 398 episodes you can go out and listen to on Spotify or watch, I think, the last 2 seasons on this channel on 30NSG. But if you want to listen to our past broadcasts, you can go to Spotify. They're all up there. So go check those out. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Game on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.